What's up, guys? Hopefully that actually started the stream, but we're back with another live stream, another morning live stream. Don says, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Don. And Eric Shaw says, BKKT looking ready to break out. Going to start accepting cryptos everywhere. So yeah, if we're looking at the BKKT chart, let's take a look at it. It is moving up significantly, right? I'm guessing this news came out probably at 8:30, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And we already got 6 people in the stream. That's awesome. So this is my first time scheduling a stream. So I think it actually kept me more accountable. I actually showed up on time today. So there we go. Let's pull up the BKKT news. Let's see what that has going for it. All right, on Yahoo Finance, BKKT. All right. So the last thing that Yahoo Finance has is 3 days ago. Let's see if there's something on TD Ameritrade. Huh. Can't find that that BKKT is starting to accept cryptos everywhere. Let's see. Let's see if we can't search it down. Good morning, Samrat Singh. Good morning. We're just looking for some BKKT news that was pointed out to us, but it looks like BKKT is moving up significantly, right? We're up above 30 bucks. Let's see if we can stay there until the actual opening bell. That would be nice. PROG actually ended up suffering a little bit yesterday, right? We broke below 4. It was after the live stream ended, unfortunately. So PROG did break below 4, but it held 360 pretty well. And after hours, it hasn't been doing great, right? We're down a little bit, but not bad, right? We're still at 370. So there's still some hope. KTZ, good morning, man. Good morning. I'm ready for another fun day of watching the stock market. DWAC is doing decently, considering where we ended yesterday. We're starting to trend up a little bit. This isn't, the worst thing to see, even though we're not up too significantly. It's nice to see that we're moving back up above 70, although we are falling as of now, so we'll see what happens with that. PHUN following kind of the same pattern that DWAC has been following, so obviously, a little bit more volatile, but there's definitely some upside there. Good morning, Maria G. Awesome. Wow, we already got 10 likes, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's, the reason that I ask for the likes is because it does help to get the stream out to some more people, and then we get more people in the comments, and it's just more interesting. We get some better information, the more people that we've got. So that's why I ask for people to like the video, and it's much appreciated. It looks like you guys are on top of it, so thank you very much. Now, let me pull up the Ortex for PROG and see what happened with the short interest. Because PROG has been suffering a little bit, right? If you look where we closed yesterday, it's much lower than where we were during the stream. We were above 4 for the most part while we were watching PROG, and then in after hours or in late in the trading day, we ended up sinking down. And after hours hasn't been great either, right? We did rebound a little bit, but the pre-market we kind of sank down. So we're gonna see what happens with PROG. Let's pull up the short data for it though. I am curious about that. Okay. Wow, yeah, okay, so PROG short data. This is interesting. All right. So it looks like we're up 5.59% to a 50% short interest as a percentage of the free float. Now, I can't remember if that's where we were yesterday. Were we above 50? I thought we were at maybe in the high 40s. But the utilization, it looks like maybe they found some more shares to loan out because the current utilization is only 99.38. So that's interesting to see. That's not great for PROG stock, right? The fact that the shorts have been piling in today, that's not great. We have gotten pushed down a little bit, but as long as we don't get pushed down below 350, let's take a look at the options. You can see that on November 19th, 350, we've got about 25,000 open interest call options, so very good. But we do want to get above 4 because there's another 25,000 just waiting for us to be in the money. And that would put some buying pressure on institutions who have been selling those. UFOs are real. What do you think is a good entry price for which stock are you talking about, UFOs? And Manny C says, good morning, let's go, Mark. Good morning, Manny C. Here, we can pull up Mark, where PHUN is for a second. They kind of trade similarly, right? They're all Trump pump stocks. But yeah, Mark, sitting above $2, so that's good. We did see a little bit of a pump in late in the trading day yesterday. but haven't been able to break 230. That looks like a pretty key level for this stock. It looks like we've bounced off of it a couple of times. I'll draw resistance line for it then. Right there at 230. And let's see. Yeah, so it looks like we've been stuck there a couple of times. Let's edit this a little bit, move it over there. Yep, okay, so yeah, 230. It looks like if we could get above that, we could be in for a good time with Mark. That would be nice. UFOs are real, DWAC, he says. Okay, yeah, so my entrance on DWAC was at 24.18, and at this point, it's really about your risk tolerance. If you're interested in the stock, obviously you could wait for more of a dip. There might be more of a dip. It looks like we're trending down a little bit leading up to the opening bell. Potentially we could hit $50, right? That would be likely a key support level for us because we did use it as resistance on the initial day of the pump. Maybe we could go below, right? Maybe we could. I don't think it's too likely that we do, and it's not even a guarantee that we get to 50. But if you were looking to buy the dip, and this isn't personalized advice, this is just what I'm thinking, right? My opinion on the stock. 50 looks like a good place where I might be looking to, get in on some more DWAC shares if we end up dropping that much. It's not a guarantee. Obviously, I'm comfortable having a position already at 24, so I'm not too worried about getting in and this thing taking off without me since I'm already in. So I'm not worried about that. If I wasn't, I might consider just averaging in slowly, right? Buying some shares here and there as I see it continue to dip. If it does, which it looks like it's up on the day so far, right? When we open, we'll actually be green. So we're not necessarily dipping, right? We are kind of in an uptrend right now. So I'm not too sure if it's actually going to 50, but if we do, then that is likely a bottom for us, at least for a while. That's what I'm thinking about DWAC, and that's not personalized advice. That's just my opinion on it. But I don't want to tell anyone where to buy or sell or anything like that. PROG, it looks like, is dumping. A lot of these stocks are dumping. DWAC and PROG are both dumping a little bit right before the opening bell. So we'll see if we can reverse that trend in the next 23 minutes we've got, hopefully. UFOs are real says, I bought at 20 and then again at 100 and got scared off trying to get back in. I was hoping for 50 myself. Thanks so much, man. You're welcome. Yeah. No, I think 50 does look like a key level for it. So you're spot on with that. I think 50 is important, but there's no guarantee that we'll get there. There are a lot of people interested in this stock. A lot of people in the comments sections have been saying that they're just waiting for this thing to dip a little bit to buy in, and I think that's the thought process that a lot of people are having, right? I think a lot of people heard about this thing the day after it had pumped up massively, right? And they were probably looking at it for the first time when it was trading at highs of 175 or above 100 for a decent part of the day, and they've been waiting for a dip, and we have seen as it sank a little bit, people have been buying the dip. But who's to say? It might dip a little bit more, but it might not, because there are a lot of people who are still waiting to buy some. So that's what I think about DWAC. It's not a guarantee that we're going to dip more, but it could. But if it does, I think there are a lot of people who want to buy that up. So that's a good thing. I'm not too worried about this price-wise, right? And okay, let's pull up DWAC options. I'm actually curious about those. Okay. So they just added some weeklies. All right, nice. No open interest, no volume on those yet. But the November 19th strike date, let's see if there are any other strike dates with a lot of open interest. Doesn't look like there's too much. Not too much. Okay, so they've added a lot more options. All right, but the November 19th options are the most plentiful. But still, not too many open interest. Granted, they are extremely expensive. You're paying quite a large premium to be getting in on this, right? If you're buying the stock at 65 and then selling the $70 calls, you're protecting yourself by about 11 or 12 bucks to the downside. So not a bad trade to take necessarily, right? If you were to buy this and then to sell calls at 70 bucks, I did something similar on my Robinhood. I ended up just selling some puts, some $80 puts, and I am down on money a little bit, right? They have increased in value. But I don't expect that to be the case for long. I think that we'll probably continue moving up. And even if they did expire in the money and I had to get assigned those put contracts, if I got assigned shares of the stock, I would not be upset to have some more shares of DWAC. I think the cost basis for that would be close to 60 bucks, right? It would be like 61 bucks if I ended up getting assigned those contracts or getting assigned those stocks. So All right, and we've got 18 likes, 30 viewers. Let's see if we can't bump this up 2 more likes to 20. Let's see if we can do that. Just get this out to a couple more people. Let's see if we can. And with Mark, well, let's actually pull up PHUN for a second and see what it's been doing. Yeah, so kind of following the same pattern as DWAC, just dumping a little bit, leading into the opening bell, which isn't the best to see, right? But it hasn't stopped. We've seen the opposite, where we've been soaring into the opening bell, and it's been stopped at market open, right? Like over here with DWAC, we were just moving up and up and up, and as soon as the market opened, we started moving down. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to see us moving down into the opening bell, because we could always reverse that. Pop Squash says BKKT will break $50 today. More details on their massive deal to accept cryptos everywhere. Yeah, I'm looking. We looked for those details. I couldn't find them, but we're hoping that maybe some more details about BKKT will come out. And that we'll try to cover that on stream if they do while we're live. So let's see. I'm curious about DWAC's market cap. So we've got a market cap of 2.33 billion, and I've got to say that seems very low for DWAC stock. That seems relatively low for the Trump pump stock. I think that we could get much higher on DWAC. We're going to have to see, though. It's not a guarantee, but I think that we could get significantly higher with DWAC market cap-wise, right? 2.3 billion does not seem like that much for this stock with all the people that are likely going to be wanting to buy into it. I think that we could see something a lot larger. AMC is sitting around 18 billion, and this seems like it might actually have a larger base of supporters around it. So let me create a poll real quick. Which are you most bullish on? Today. We'll say today. Which do you think will go up the most today? We'll ask DWAC. We'll ask PHUN. We'll ask about PROG as well. But a lot of people are interested in BKKT, so we'll include that. All right. Here we go. We've got the poll up. Hopefully I didn't put any typos in there. It should be showing up any second now. We'll see. Any second, the poll should be showing up. There it is. So you guys can vote in that. Let me know what you guys think will be going up the most today. It looks like BKKT is doing pretty well, though we are, all these stocks look like they're tanking a little bit in the pre-market. Just leading into the opening bell, all of them seem to be doing somewhat poorly, right? They're all sinking a little. But BKKT is still, well, not anymore, right? This bar just dropped it below $30. So that's not ideal. But a lot of people are saying DWAC out of the 7 who have voted so far. Someone says PROG and someone says BKKT, and the rest say DWAC. DWAC will up to 85, says PTHT. Yeah, I hope. I hope. I mean, that's, it's not out of the realm of possibility. 85 is not that far off. It's right up here. We could very easily move up to that. We did a lot more the first 2 days that this was pumping. Granted, there was much higher volume. However, I think that a lot of the bearish pressure that we've seen has already been experienced. We'll have to watch closely, though. I'm not too sure. There's always the chance that some people are going to look to take profits or get scared out of this, but I'm not taking profits anytime soon. I'm waiting for it to go up. Diddy WD says good morning to you as well. Oh yeah, and Ambition 2020 IRNT. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at IRNT. So okay, it looks like I watched as we closed the day yesterday. We closed really well, above $16, but we have been sinking in pre-market for the most part, right? After hours wasn't too bad. We kind of traded around, but then pre-market we have been sinking a bit. We're down around 1392. We're going to have to see what happens at the opening bell, right? It's very possible that at the opening bell, I'll pull up some trends data as well for IRNT, but it looks like it's getting some attention. So let's see if that's still the case. I think a lot of people might be looking into IRNT, and that could really add some buying pressure to it. Let's see. Yeah, so this is actually a very good sign for IRNT stock, right? The fact that we are seeing such positive pressure on Google Trends. First of all, yesterday we closed at record rankings, right, of 100. That's the highest you can get on Google Trends. So blowing all of the previous search results out of the water, right? A lot of people were searching for IRNT stock, And today it looks like we may be on our way to breaking that record, right? If we can get some positive momentum early on in the morning, I could see a lot more people hearing about this. If we can pull up StockTwits, let's see what we've got. If a lot of people are searching for it there, that could be good. And Nope says DWAC to 500. And Zach Taylor, IRNT, please. Yeah, we're watching it right here. We're going to have to see what happens. I am pulling up. Yeah, so on Google StockTwits, on StockTwits, we got IRNT, the number 3 trending, right? This isn't the same as most active. On most active, it looks like it's only number 5, but that's really good, right? To be number 5, especially when there are so many other big plays going on, like SHIB, which, that's just crazy, right? Took over Dogecoin's market cap yesterday. However, it looks like Dogecoin has been pumping, so we'll actually have to watch that. But DWAC as well, also one of the most active in AMC. Doesn't surprise me to see it above IRNT, at least for now. We'll have to see if IRNT can overtake it. Diddy WD says, what do you think of METX and GRTX? I'll take a look. I'll take a look right here. METX. I can't say I've heard of these. So it looks like there was an initial pump, and then we've sank since then. Announces a strategic partnership. Okay, at 8 a.m. today, and they're moving up on that news, it looks like, at 8. Or, well, yeah, they got some volume at 8, at least. Okay, so another crypto mining business. All right, that's not bad. But what happened on the 26th to pump them up? Announces, okay, so just the strategic partnership. All right, so yeah, that's not bad. Not great to see that they have been sinking over the past while. There's always the chance that it will pump up, but the fact that we have dropped so much doesn't look great for us. Doesn't look great. We'll have to see at the opening bell if we can get a lot of volume for METX. Shiba had excellent dip last night. Only night crawlers caught it back to the moon today. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, it wasn't too low when I checked it this morning when I woke up, but I was not watching it last night. So let me pull up CoinMarketCap. We'll look at SHIB. BKKT is very risky. And GRTX, I'll look at that right here for a second. Okay, it looks like it might be a similar situation that we're seeing. Yeah, wow. Jeez. Yeah, this one sank quite a bit. Likely on FDA not approving something or other. Potentially. Healthcare stocks, yeah. Okay, yeah. So the FDA probably just didn't approve something, or a study failed, something like that. You can always try to get in on these rebound plays, but I tend to not be too interested in them just because I view them as kind of risky, right? Once they lose whatever they've been researching, when that doesn't pan out, it seems very likely to me that they end up continuing dipping a little bit. So I don't know, unless some good news comes out for them, then I'm not too sure about GRTX. But that's just based off a first look. I have no idea what the actual news was for it, so I'll pull BKKT back up. Okay, it looks like we're tanking a little bit, and this is interesting. Coinbase or CoinMarketCap right here just can't pull up the data for its coins, so that's interesting to see. We're trying to refresh, but it looks like they're unable to pull up the data. I don't know if it's just an issue with their site, or if who knows what happened with it, but maybe SHIB just exploded a little too much. They got a little too much activity on their site. Let's see if we can search for an individual coin. Looks like... Here, I'll pull this up again. We're searching for SHIB right now, and you can see this blue bar is the progress on it. So let's see what happens when it gets to the end. I'm curious. We're almost there, so... I don't know if it's going to be able to pull it up. It looks like their whole site might be crashing. Yeah, it just got stuck at the end, it looks like. So I'm not going to contribute to the amount of volume on their site. I'm not going to bother them with it. Cha-ching says morning. Good morning, Cha-ching. All right. And we're off to a really good start today. Haven't even hit the opening bell yet, but we've already got 30 likes, 46 viewers. Let's see if we can't bump it up to 40 likes. Maybe we can. If everyone likes the stream, we could potentially do that. We could start the stream with over 40 likes. That would be nice. We'd certainly get some more people in here calling out stocks. That would be good. Good to see. XTYA says Ambition 2020. Let's pull it up over IRNT. We are almost at the opening bell. Looks like we're going to struggle with 14. XYTA. XYTA. I think that I typed that in correctly. I'm not sure. That might not be a ticker symbol, but maybe I misunderstood. Pull up IRNT again. And BKKT, it looks like it's suffering. Let's see what PHUN is doing, PHUN. Okay, yeah, so all of these stocks have just been tanking a little bit leading up to the opening bell. DWAC is down off the highs, right? We were up above 70, and we have since sunk below. We're around 68. PHUN is sank below 5, okay. And PROG is down a little bit, but not horrible where PROG is at, right? We didn't necessarily expect to just blow through $4 scot-free. The fact that we're not tanking more, the fact that we're still above 350 is very good. And 320 can always act as a good support for us if we needed to. Hopefully we won't, but if we needed to, it could. So I'll extend that out. What we don't want is to get back into the $2.80 to $3.20 range, right? We don't want to get trapped there and have all of these options contracts for PROG. I'll pull that up. We don't want those to expire worthless, right? We want these to be in the money near expiration, pressuring institutions to buy up shares of PROG and push the price up even more, because that will put a lot of pressure on shorts. If you look, shorts are actually doubling down today, right? They're throwing more fuel on the PROG fire, right? So potentially this could blow up in their faces, but short interest is up 6.79% today, bringing us to a short interest percentage of the free float of 51%. So fairly high. PROG can invest a little if you want to make quick money. Must go DWAC today will be second craziest day. We'll see, I hope. And Ambition says, sorry, SYTA. Okay. All right, I'll pull that up. SYTA. Okay, yeah. Wow, this one pumped up massively. Let's see what it was. On 10/27. So agreement with Lynn Partners, $6 million agreement. Okay, global vendor of push-to-talk over cellular. I'll pull this down here so nobody's bothered by it with the rest of the charts, which seem to be doing fairly well. DWAC looks like it's moving back up, but an investment fund manager, staying connected in emergency situations, all right. A funding agreement for gross proceeds. All right, okay, so that's interesting. And a new headset launch that happened a bit ago, though. Interesting. Pleased to provide this investment to repay SYTA's debt, especially when the company is at such an exciting inflection point. Please, promising product portfolio in a multi-billion-dollar emerging market that has partnered with major U.S. and international cellular carriers. All right, this could be promising, right? The fact that it had a big sell-off, we could be looking at a rebound today. We'll have to see what happens with it at the opening bell. That'll be an interesting one to watch. I'm curious about the market cap of it, though. SYTA, let's see. And nice, we did get to 40 likes before the opening bell. Thank you guys very much. Awesome job. So, wow, this is awesome. So, SYTA, $25 million market cap. So that's the kind of number where something really could explode if it did take off. Now, it's tough to get those to take off, right? It's a small market cap. Not many people know about this. And it isn't necessarily up massively today, right? We did end up yesterday, but we tanked in late hours trading, right? During the power hour, it looks like we tanked for the most part. So it'll be tough to regain some momentum on this. But if we do, this is the kind of stock that could move up quite a bit, right? We saw it yesterday. It went from about 3 to 9, so 3x'd. So not bad. We'll have to see if traders are still keeping an eye on SYTA. That'll be interesting to see. And DWC to 500 says Samrat Singh. Yeah, I hope. That's the goal, right? We're hoping to get to 500. Though, truth be told, I would most likely be looking to sell a little bit before 500 because I've found that oftentimes, when people have price targets like that, say with Dogecoin, when everyone was talking about Dogecoin getting to $1, it didn't quite end up getting to $1, right? It got close. It got to 78 cents. I think maybe it hit 80 cents. I don't quite remember, but that was the prime time to be selling it, right? So typically, some people are going to try and be a little bit savvy, and some people, if everyone is thinking, let's get this thing to $1 and then sell it, and some people are going to try selling at 90 cents. Then some people are going to try outsmarting them and selling at 80 cents, and some people are going to try outsmarting them and selling at 78 cents. So I think the same kind of thing might go on with DWAC, right? I think that if we have a price target of 500, then maybe it gets to 425, maybe it gets to 375 before a lot of selling pressure sets in. We'll have to see. But I will be watching it closely, right? Obviously, we're nowhere near 500 yet. We're still, today, hopefully we can just get above 70 and stay there. That's what I'm hoping for with DWAC. The fact that we have ended the downtrend is very nice, right? That we're consolidating in this area. It looks like in between $50 and $100. That's a very nice area to consolidate in. I do not mind that at all. And we'll have to watch, once we really start breaking above 100, I think is when the next big run is going to start. But we still have a ways to go before then. No guarantees that it's just going to start spiking up anytime soon, right? I think this could be a slow burn, but we'll have to watch it closely. I think that what's going to do it, though, is retail pressure, and that doesn't happen all at once. That tends to, sometimes people do FOMO in, but I think that retail's being a little bit more cautious with this after seeing it tank from 175 down to almost $50. IRNT might drop hard today. Be careful. Yeah, we'll pull up IRNT again. I am curious about it. It could drop, right? It could. We'll have to see. Shorts obviously don't like it. The short interest was up massively. I'll pull up IRNT on Ortex. I'm curious what's happened with it since for short interest, but yeah, so it's up 11% short interest-wise. Shorts are doubling down on this, trying to push it down. Doesn't surprise me. It was up around 26% yesterday, and obviously that couldn't stop the price from rising that much. However, shorts may have just been building up a position and be prepared to push it down a little bit more. However, I will pull this back up. The utilization on IRNT is 99.86, so very high. There's really not much more that shorts can throw at this. Unless, I don't know if dark pools would allow them to circumvent that, or naked shorting perhaps, which, we have heard about going on. I'm not sure if that's going to happen with IRNT stock, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Obviously, we're dipping a little bit. DWAC is making a move to $70, so we'll see. 3 more minutes until the opening bell. And Soul Grind says, SYTA tanked 2 hours after I bought in. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's the way the stock market goes a lot of the time, though, so... All right, let's pull up PHUN. Looks like we're not as bullish on PHUN as DWAC this morning. We have just been tanking. DWAC, on the other hand, is moving up, right? We're above 70 now, up to 750. We'll see if we can stay there. And PROG, let's see what's going on with that. Still just a little bearish leading into the opening bell. We'll see. Hopefully we can bounce off of 350 or 360 and start getting some upwards momentum, get above 4, because that's what we really want to activate all of those options contracts right here. 24,856 options contracts at $4. So hopefully we can get above that, and that'll put some buying pressure on for institutions. UFOs are real says, is DWAC being shorted yet? Let's pull up the short interest on DWAC. Let's pull that up on Ortex, because it has in the past... Ortex has in the past shown us short interest change. It's never shown us short interest as a percentage of the free float, but it does currently show us borrowed shares and cost to borrow and borrow change. So my expectation is that since it has all these statistics, there are some people shorting DWAC. So it looks like some people are shorting it. Some institutions most likely. I don't think individuals would be shorting it, but it looks like some savvy institutions who know how to do it. And Randy the Ape says, BKKT has some huge buyers lining up right now. Watch for a run. Yeah, we will be watching BKKT. Right now, we've got IRNT. It looks like IRNT has replaced it. Was it a no for you on AIP yesterday? If AIP is a ticker, let me pull that up. So, yeah, I didn't get in on it. I don't think we even talked about AIP yesterday. And I've not actually been watching this one. Arteris Inc. Let's see what's going on with it. It looks like it just debuted. Okay, yep, debut after IPO. I think actually I may have heard about this on Robinhood. Robinhood's been doing a good job of notifying me about all the IPOs, but no, I did not get in on AIP. Unfortunately, it looks like it was up pretty big. We'll see if we can continue that today. Maybe. We'll pull up IRNT as the opening bell starts. Okay. Oh, did IRNT get halted? No way. It got okay. No, here we go at 9:30. That's interesting. It just took a minute to show up. Interesting. But DWAC, it looks like, unfortunately, we just blasted through $70. Really, not what we want to see. Maybe we can regain it. Right? We're only halfway through the this bar. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, we're moving back up. Hopefully we stay there. I don't know, though. Typically when you see a big red bar, it can stay that way. Yeah, so that's not great. Looks like PHUN is experiencing something similar. All the Trump pump stocks are getting shot down. Oh, yeah, this isn't great. We don't want to see that. We're still up on the day, pretty big, but massive red bar. Huge amount of selling pressure for DWAC and PHUN. Just getting shot down. All-time lows for the pre-market. Really not good. PROG, on the other hand, is shooting up, so we'll see what happens with these, but it looks like we might rebound off of 68, right? We are gaining some support for DWAC at the lows. We'll have to see. Oh, yeah, that's a scary big red bar. We don't like to see it, but that's unfortunate. IRNT experiencing something similar, right? We're getting shot down, maybe holding some support at the lows of pre-market. We'll have to see. DWAC is moving down further. That's not great. That's not great. Let's see what DWAC search is doing. Yep, okay. So we are experiencing a kind of similar pattern. Yeah, Ambition 2020 says yikes. Yeah, yikes indeed. But it looks like, we have slowly been waning in search interest for DWAC stock, right? We've just been going down day after day, which is to be expected, right? Because it's still experiencing massive search volume. It's just that initially the hype was so large that pretty much everyone was searching for the stock. And so it's no surprise that there are fewer people searching now. It looks like we are seeing a little bit of a rebound, though. This is very good off of 68 for DWAC. And PHUN, on the other hand, though, down on the day and just continues getting bar after bar that is bloody red. So that's not great. Down 1.68%. DWAC, on the other hand, up almost 7%. So this is kind of following the pattern that I've been expecting, right? DWAC tends to be a little bit more bullish than PHUN and the other Trump pump stocks. I will pull off IRNT for a second and go to Mark. I'm curious about that. Yeah, so it's following in PHUN's footsteps almost. It did have a green bar initially, but we're going to try and hold 2 on Mark. Getting below 2 would not be ideal. Yeah, we really don't want to drop below 2. Not for too long, at least, right? It's been very rare that we've actually dropped below 2. Only a couple of bars, and it looks like mostly after hours or pre-market. DWAC back up above 70. This is really good, making highs of the day. So this is actually great for DWAC, right? It looks like initially there may have been some selling pressure, but now buyers are stepping in. PROG getting crushed. Jeez. Oh, wow. That just shot down. Let's pull up IRNT and see what we've got. But wow, yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of stocks are making big moves right now. IRNT getting shot down. It was initially looking pretty good. DWAC up 10%, 11% on the day. And PROG, it looks like we might be getting bounced off of 350. Hopefully that will act as support. If you look back over the past while, 350 has acted as support for us in the past, so there's always the chance. Granted, last time we hit 350 as support, we did drop below it for a little bit. So it's not necessarily just going to bounce right off of 350, though that would be nice to see for PROG. So hopefully we won't get too much lower on PROG. DWAC is doing very well, though. I like to see new highs for volume. If you look at that, we see that even we beat the opening bell, right? 362,000 shares traded versus less than 300,000. So it looks like there is some buying pressure, but it's getting canceled out. It looks like this is going to be a war of $70, right? We're going to see, can the Bulls beat the Bears and get this thing above $70? So Ambition says, or let's start at the top. PHT or PTHT, BENE is a good time to buy in before noon. Well, we might look at that. We might look at that in a minute. KTZ says PHUN hurt me. Yeah, but if we do see a big rally in DWAC, it's likely, in my opinion, that PHUN and Mark will follow. I think that those do tend to trade kind of similarly to DWAC, especially in the beginning. It's been a little bit less so now. We've seen a little bit more variance in them, but they almost traded exactly like each other during the initial days of the pump. So I think that could still be the case, just to a lesser extent. So Ambition 2020 says, I'm looking for a good ping pong game. Any potential you see maybe DWAC? Yeah, I'm liking DWAC. The fact that we are having this war around $70, it might be not a bad buy-in below 70 and a good sell above for a little bit. We'll have to see how long this goes on for. But that's what I'm seeing right now, the fact that we are really struggling with 70. Typically, this kind of thing could last for a little bit. So we'll have to see with that. It is risky. It's really moving quickly. So that's going to be a tough one to trade. But it could be very profitable, right? It's very volatile right now. Morning says Jialin Chen. Good morning to you. Good morning. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. It looks like we've got 49 likes and 67 viewers. Let's see if we can't bump that up. Maybe we could get 55 likes, maybe even 60, right? There's enough viewers to do it. So we'll have to see if we can't blast through 60, get some more people in the stream with that. Lonnie Gomez says BKKT heading to $100. They are going to start accepting cryptos everywhere with MasterCard. Yeah, that would be awesome to see. We will pull up BKKT here. So yeah, it looks like they're actually doing pretty well, right? They have been moving up. They made all-time highs for the day above 31 before getting shot down. No wonder. That is going to act as a little bit of resistance based off of what we saw in the pre-market. DWAC getting pushed down below 70 again, staying below 70, unfortunately. But yeah, 31 looks like it was acting as a bit of resistance during the pre-market, and no surprise during the actual trading day as well. So we'll have to see what happens with it, but 31 might be tough for BKKT to break. But if we can do it, then it seems like it's mostly upside from there. So we'll have to see if we can't break that little resistance that we formed, because we would be then up on our way to new all-time intraday highs. I mean, we've not been above. Yeah, that's actually here. If we can extend this, I'll show you guys what I just noticed. Let's delete that first of all. And I will point out that BKKT, where it closed the day on its initial pump, was actually right here around 31. So very close, right? You could put this line right here, and that's where it ended up closing the day, very close to it at least. And no wonder that's acting as a bit of resistance for us now. So you can see that's the same line, right? We got up there in after hours, got bounced off of it. And then in pre-market today, we got bounced off again, and now during the trading day. So 31 is looking to be a tough level for BKKT, but if we can break it, that would be very bullish. DWAC is unfortunately moving lower. Still up on the day, whereas PHUN is down on the day. We're going to see if we can't bounce back. We did have some really great bullish pressure moving this thing up above 70. Now we got some bearish pressure. We're going to have to see, right? The bearish pressure isn't as powerful as the bulls, though, right? You can see that the bulls were just increasing volume, and the bears are almost stagnating, right? Lowering their volume. So we're going to have to see if we can't start moving up. Hopefully a bounce off of 67 is possible. It's not looking great, though. There's not a great support for us at 67. Which is most likely why we're starting to move lower down to 66. Jeez, yeah, not great for DWAC. Still up on the day, though, up $282 on my account at least, $290 on the day. So not going to complain about it, but not great to see. Okay, maybe 67 will act as a bit of support right there. Nice. Let's see. Planning to buy DWAC at 50, says Shilin Chen. Yeah, that is when a lot of people we have been talking about that. And if you look, the past 10 days, you can see 50 is where I have key support level drawn for DWAC. You can see there was a lot of resistance for it on the day that it initially pumped up. $50 acted as a fairly strong resistance, and once we did break through, that ended up allowing us to continue moving up all the way to above $100. So 50 is most likely going to act as a very key level if we end up hitting it. It's not a guarantee that we'll get down to $50. Possibly we will, but it's not a guarantee. A lot of people have been looking to buy the DWAC dip. And, you can see we were trending down for a bit. Now we look to be like we're on a little bit of an uptrend. There's no telling if that will continue, right? This could be, these couple of red bars that we see could be the beginning of a new downtrend taking us down to 50. We'll have to see, though. Boaz NG says DWAC buying at 67. Yeah, 67. Well, that was a decent buy, at least in the short term, right? Because we did bounce off of that. It could be acting as a support. We'll have to see if we end up just blasting through, then not so much. But if we do end up moving up, then that looks like a pretty good support for us. So we'll have to see if 67 was a good buy. After all, I'm just holding my shares. I'm not trading it too actively. I bought it at 24.18, so I'm not too worried about the immediate price action of it. As long as it's above $40, I'm happy. Not too worried about DWAC. But there we go. We've got 76 viewers and 63 likes. Let's see if we can't pump that up to maybe 70 likes. Since we have 76 viewers, even 6 people could afford to not like the stream and we could still hit 70 likes. So we'll have to see if we can do that. But with BKKT, it looks like we did end up getting bounced off of 31. I'll move this line just down a little bit so it's more accurate. But We might be moving back up, might be trying to retake 31 on BKKT. Hopefully we will. I know there's a lot of news coming out for it. Some people have been talking about it at least. Well, no ping pong for anything, like playing against Serena Williams right now. Crypto ping pong last night, 80K replaced my DWAC loss. Now I'm back where I was a week ago. Nice ambition. That's awesome. Speaking of crypto, let's see if we can't pull up the coin market cap site again. Okay, it looks like it's back up because I am curious about Shiba Inu coin. Yeah, wow. This one is up even more, it looks like. It has just been destroying Dogecoin. Even though Dogecoin has pumped up, right? Dogecoin actually pumped up about 28%, which I'm not sad about, right? I hold both Dogecoin and Shiba Inu coin. Shiba Inu has blown Doge out of the water, right? Dogecoin's market cap is $40 billion, and Shiba Inu is now at 42. Dogecoin was just a little bit ago at a $34 billion market cap. So Shiba Inu has really been growing quickly. Let's take a look at the chart over the past day. Yeah, I actually see what you're talking about. It looks like this was the night trading you're talking about, Ambition. So yeah, it looks like there was a bit of a dip, but geez, Shiba Inu is a beast. It's just been climbing. We'll see if we can break those all-time highs of 8,719. I think that's how people talk about this. I think that's how they explain the price of the crypto. So let's look at Dogecoin for a second too. Don't touch the Bitcoin, guys, says PTHT. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Bitcoin, it's getting very close to all-time highs. We will look at that for a second, right, before we head back to these stocks over here. We'll pull up Bitcoin for a second. It looks like the site is running fairly slowly. Probably having trouble just updating all of these prices, right, as these coins explode. I'm not sure if this site allows you to trade or anything like that, but potentially it does. So that might be a reason why, right? This site might just be getting crashed from all kinds of people looking at it. Yeah, okay. Well, it's running kind of slowly right now, so we won't worry about it. We saw what we wanted to see with Shiba Inu. Yeah, it looks like DWAC is continuing to move down. We don't like seeing that. But it's to be expected, right? You know, the fact that we have been uptrending is a good thing, and even if we do end up moving back down to 50, I'm not too worried about the stock. It seems like a very key level for it. Ideally, though, I would like to see us move up a little bit more before we actually move down to 50, right? Because this isn't the strongest uptrend, and it would be nice to show that we can sustain an uptrend for a significant period of time, right? For a couple of days at least, not just a day and a half. That would be good to see with DWAC. I think it would instill some confidence in people. All right, Joseph Agnello says, good morning, man. Good morning, Joseph. And Jaden Lobstein says, is PROG going to make a comeback? Well, we're watching PROG, and it looks like it hasn't been defeated yet, right? Though it is down about 5% on the day, we haven't actually moved below 350. So there's still hope for it, right? The fact that 350 is hopefully going to act as a strong support. You can see over the past while, 350 did act as a support for us a couple of times, right? We bounced off here, and that's not to say that we won't dip below 350 for a little bit, right? As we did here, we were down as low as $3.32, it looks like. So that's not to say that we won't dip a little bit below $3.50 before making a comeback, as we're doing right now. We're at 342. Geez, that's actually really significant volume breaking us down. Yeah, 1.6 million shares trading in that minute alone. So not great, but we are making a little bit of a comeback. Okay, it looks like people want us to be above 350, but it wouldn't surprise me to see us get shot down from that. We'll have to see. This isn't the best, right? When you do see this many shares trading all at once, that's indicative of someone wanting to push us down. So let's look at PROG on Ortex. Let's see what we've got going on. We have to watch the short interest data for PROG. Okay, yeah, so it's unfortunately, as we've been watching, the short interest data has just slowly been increasing. You can see it's up 7.79% today, bringing us to 51.53% short interest as a percentage of the free float. That's really not good with PROG stock, right? The fact that shorts are absolutely trying to push us down. That's all. It is not the worst, though. It shows that shorts are very worried about it. There really is a lot of potential with PROG, but if shorts do push us down below these strike prices, I will show you the options activity for PROG. Right here, you can see the November 19th strike date and the 350 calls as well as the $4 calls. That's about 50,000 calls if you add them all together. Now they're out of the money, so we really don't like that. We want these to be in the money for as long as possible leading up to November 19th to put the most pressure on people who have sold those to buy up shares of PROG. So that's what we want, and it's unfortunate that, obviously there is some kind of, I won't call it manipulation. I mean, it's just market activity, but someone is trying to push PROG down. You can see it's no coincidence that as we got to 350, 1.6 million shares were traded, dropping us below that. So does not surprise me to see, but it looks like we are seeing some buying power as well, right? A lot of bulls are coming in. A lot of bulls know that there's a lot of potential with PROG, though we are down 8%. Some people are likely viewing this as a buying opportunity for the stock. We'll have to see what happens. Jaden Lob saying, okay, yeah. Stuns 4 days. Nope, there it goes. Giala Chen, any thoughts on any GG? I have not heard of that, but I will look at it in a second. And the humbled Megan says, sold PROG for Shiba and BKKT. So I'll look at any GG for a second. Newegg. Okay, yeah, I've heard of Newegg. But it looks like it's just been dumping and dumping and dumping. Okay, yeah, ever since it spiked up a bit. All right, so I would say with any GG, unless there's some kind of catalyst, unless I start to see some momentum building up on it, I don't just like buying into a downtrend, right? I prefer to see some kind of indication of a breakout, right? If we can maybe get above $15, if we did spike up that high, then that might inspire some traders to get back in on any GG. Hopefully, right? We'll have to see. We would need some volume, says Zach Taylor, for IRNT, though. Let's pull up IRNT, yeah. So we do need some volume for IRNT. It looks like we're down about 15% from close, but we are starting to move back up. We may be on our way to making highs of day, right? If we can get above 1422, that could inspire some people to buy in. And Ikrani says, hey, if the shorts push PROG down more, that means I can get it at a cheaper price. That's definitely true. I think that's what a lot of people were thinking when they saw PROG dip down below 350, which was a key support. I think that's why we're seeing such a strong hesitance to actually continue trending down, right? A lot of volume has been spent moving us back in an upwards direction. So I do think that, yeah, I agree with you, Ikrani. I think a lot of people are trying to buy up PROG at a little bit of a discount right here, right? Down 6% on the day. It looks like we're moving back to 350, back above 350. We're going to have to see if that holds. We only got 10 seconds left on this bar, so that would actually be very good. Yeah, I think a lot of people are obviously sharing your mindset on that. The fact that PROG is now just shooting up above 350. That's very good to see. And Lesko Brandon says, very bullish on DWAC, at least for the short and midterm. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, I'm very bullish on DWAC for the short and midterm, despite the fact that a lot of the Trump pump stocks are down on the day, right? PHUN is down 3%. DWAC is up. It's up 3%, even though we haven't had the most bullish pre-market leading into the opening bell and actual trading day, though we're near lows of the day, lows of this day. We're still up because we had decent after hours, right? So not bad stuff that we're seeing with DWAC, but we would like to get above 70, right? We don't want to see ourselves getting shot off of 70. Ideally, we would start moving up, but I'm not too worried about it. Really, I could see us going down as low as 50 before making a rebound. Because 50 is likely, in my opinion, going to act as a pretty significant support level. You can see that on the initial day of the pump, 50 acted as a fierce resistance for us. And it wasn't until we broke through 50 that we just continued shooting up almost in a straight line to 100. So I think that, yeah, 50 could be a key level. If we do end up going down to it, that wouldn't worry me too much. I wouldn't like to see us going down below 50. I will say that would be a little worrying. But looking at the poll of which stock you're most bullish on today, we can see that DWAC has the most votes. 46% of people think that DWAC is going to be doing the best. And I might have to agree. Potentially PROG could be doing very well. If we can regain this 350 level and start moving up towards 4, that would be a significant gain on the day. DWAC, I am bullish on over the short to midterm, like who was saying that? Lesko was saying. But I'm not opposed to the idea that it might dip a little bit more. I just think that there are going to be plenty of people who are willing to buy the dips, right? I think that at this point, retail has been watching DWAC for a while. I think they've been watching it for many days. I think a lot of people heard about it around here. We can actually pull up the trends data on DWAC and line this up. This is October 22nd when we made record highs for DWAC stock being searched, and this is October 22nd right here when we were at 175. So I think a lot of people heard about DWAC at these really inflated prices and have since wanted an opportunity to get in on it. I think that when we saw it dip down to below $60, a lot of people saw that as an opportunity, and that's why we're now trading above 60. But I think that, the further we fall, the more people will view it as a decent buy, a decent price to get in at, and, be buying up the dip, lowering the available float. So Maria G says, let's go, Brandon, love it. And Ambition 2020 says, are we sure it isn't Friday at 3:30 p.m.? We aren't retaining newbies in the market today. Humble Megan, good move. Shiba in the friggin' sun, baby. Yeah. We'll try to pull up CoinMarketCap again. It has not been working, but that is my preferred site to look at these cryptos on. But we can see Shiba is doing incredibly well, overtaking Dogecoin market cap wise. Very impressive stuff. 2 billion more market cap worth in Shiba than in Doge. So really cool that it's been able to do that. I can't say that I expected it to do that anytime soon, but I have still been holding my Shiba Inu regardless. And Boaz NG says, this is the best stock channel I've found on YouTube so far. I appreciate that, man. I do my best. And Nathan says subscribed. I appreciate that. I can tell you subscribed because you are using the chat, and we have subscribers only mode on. So everyone here is a subscriber of the channel. And Nathan says, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, man. Let's go, Brandon. But we wanted to pull up Shiba Inu coin. However, you can see, I'll pull this up for 1 second. Again, crypto or CoinMarketCap, that's what this site is still trying to load. You really can't click on anything, unfortunately, right? When you click on it, it just tries to load. For some reason, they're having a bit of a problem with their site today, so I'm just not sure what that is. But they're not doing too great. They're definitely slowing down today, so I'm not sure why, but maybe it has to do with Doge and Shiba pumping at the same time. Now, it looks like PROG has sustained itself above 350. We have been struggling with a little bit. We're still fighting to see if we'll maintain the level above 350 or not. Hopefully we will. PHUN, on the other hand, has just been dipping and dipping and dipping, as has DWAC, but in a much less significant way. We're still up on the day with DWAC, whereas PHUN is down about 4% on the day. IRNT down 18%. This isn't great. It looks like shorts might be winning with this one, right? If we pull up the short data for IRNT, we'll pull it up right here. We don't want IRNT to fall, but the shorts certainly do, and you can see that they are doubling down. The short interest is likely, once this updates, is likely to expand massively, but just today we have a 16% increase in the short interest. So shorts are certainly doubling down. You can see we've gotten to almost a maxed out utilization. Who knows, if shorts are going to find some shares to short naked, but we'll see. Not great, though. Not great. The fact that shorts are really pushing IRNT down, trying to kill the hype off of this stock. It's still up massively. If you were holding this a couple of days ago when, it was around $10, you're still up pretty big. That's a 30% gain still, so not bad. I think that there are still some people who might be buying in. Some people are just now hearing about the news. Yesterday was a massive day for them, and typically traders will start looking at a stock the day after they hear about it. So let's search up IRNT stock on trends and see what we've got, because it looked like in the morning when we were looking at this, like it would actually be a pretty bullish day for IRNT on Google. And you can see that tends to be what's continuing right now, right? We might not break the record of yesterday. We might not reach 100 search ranking today, but we are doing fairly well, right? This is around when IRNT was up about 50% yesterday. And now we're getting very close. We have a search ranking of 90. That's 9 a.m. We're going to see maybe we can get some more volume on this at 10. But it's not looking too likely. The fact that we are down 20%, if we were up, then I think people would be a lot more interested in this. That just tends to be how it is. Dean Edmond, I'm hearing talks of the DGBI merging with Amazon. Let's see what DGBI is looking like. That sounds interesting. Digital Bridge. It might not actually be on TD Ameritrade. Or potentially, you mean DBIG? No, we can't find it. All right. Well, we can't find that, but we'll keep IRNT up for a little bit. We'll zoom back in on the day. There we go. So, yeah, PHUN is looking like it's rebounding a little bit, continuing to trade kind of in sympathy with DWAC. It looks like we are still seeing that pattern. When we've seen green on DWAC, we've seen these 3 little spurts of green here. We've seen 3 little spurts of green on PHUN as well. However, the downsides have been more significant on PHUN. I think that there's less of a support for it because it is a bit less known than DWAC. And if you look at the market cap for PHUN, I'll show you guys the market cap right here. It's only a $350 million market cap, so much lower than DWAC. There are probably just less people hearing about this, and we can actually show that directly on Google Trends. I will do a direct comparison of DWAC stock and PHUN stock. Right here we can see that there is much less search volume for DWAC, much less search volume for PHUN stock. PHUN is the red line, DWAC is the blue line right here. You can see that DWAC is always massively outranked PHUN on Google Trends. And, pretty much the whole country, if you look over here, is searching for DWAC over PHUN. So there's no area really where anyone is looking for PHUN stock above DWAC. Obviously, DWAC has a much higher market cap and is the company that is tied to Trump. I'm not saying that DWAC won't be doing well. It certainly could if DWAC does well. But it's unlikely PHUN will rise without a rise in DWAC. I think it is more so following after it. So that's what we're looking at. It looks like PHUN is soaring to patience, says THT. Yeah, I hope. And Dead Eagle 1 says Trump is going to pump this stock like Elon pumps crypto. I hope. That's it is a very similar pattern, I think, having a big public figure in charge of this stock, much like Elon was in charge of Dogecoin and is now, I guess, kind of in charge of Shiba Inu, although not really. I don't think he's said much about it. He maybe has posted some pictures of his dog, but I'm not sure he's really pumping Shiba Inu coin. And Dead Eagle says DWAC will explode if Trump is allowed back on Twitter. Yeah, if he started tweeting about this, it's very unfortunate for this stock. On the days of its initial pump, that Trump did not have his Twitter account, because I am sure this thing would have been taking off and could certainly have reached $200 or $300 on maybe the first or second day if Trump had direct access to. I think he had 60-something million people following him on Twitter at the point. If he was just able to tweet about how he was making a social media company, I'm sure that a lot of people would have instantly been in on the stock and heard about it. And that could have led to some real insanity with the stock price. That would have been very interesting to watch. But Ambition 2020 says, all my watch charts are red. Got anything good for Swift day trades? I go in big and hard. I only need 11% up. Can't find any keyholes. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's mostly red right now, at least, right? Though we're up on the day for DWAC, we're moving down. Everything that we're watching, except for PROG, is in a downtrend. PROG did find some support at 350. We're going to have to see if it can't bounce off of that, hopefully get to 4. But what we're watching right now, unfortunately, a lot of it is red. We're just trending down, and that's not necessarily in line with the market. Let me actually pull up the market as a whole, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. The market is doing fairly well. If you look, there's very few sectors or companies even that are mostly red, right? Some of the big tech like Microsoft and Facebook aren't doing great. Google's not up that much, but for the most part, the markets are green. The unfortunate part is that a lot of these riskier stocks, the more volatile ones, are starting to move down a little bit. Which is understandable as the markets. The markets are likely just trending into a more risk-off strategy today, right? You can see a lot of these safer sectors are up as opposed to these risky pump and dump stocks. So Dead Eagle says, so much popularity. I watched your video yesterday and it all makes sense. The insanity is coming. I sold half my SPCE stock to buy more DWAC stock. Yeah, SPCE, we used to cover that. I'm curious what it's doing now. I haven't looked at it in a while, but Virgin Galactic is the one. So it looks like it's been moving up decently. But yeah, DWAC, I am very bullish on it. I am the most bullish on DWAC stock at the moment. Over the next couple of weeks and months, I think that it could be the one moving up more than any other stock right now. That's what I'm most bullish on, and I'm not trying to convince people to buy it or anything like that. That's just my opinion. I'm letting you guys know what I think. But yeah, very bullish on DWAC. So that's the one that I'm going to be talking about the most likely. That's the one that I have an active position in, 150 shares right now. Got in at $24. Very fortunate to have noticed it that early on. But yeah, SPCE just has been downtrending and trending down. Maybe at their earnings call they'll announce something. We'll have to see. But who knows with SPCE? It was very hyped up around the launch, and since then has been tanking a bit. VG will be flat for at least a few months. VG. Is that a ticker? Let's see. Oh, Virgin Galactic. Yeah. So SPC. Gotcha. Not Vonage Holdings. All right. We'll look back at IRNT. There we go. So yeah, IRNT just trending down, DWAC trending down, PHUN obviously trending down as well. The only one that's moving up is PROG, though we are down on the day with it. We'll have to see what happens with that. Vivi Riddick says good morning, and Escape to Guyana says good morning as well. So good morning to both of you. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Glad to have you guys here. I recognize both of you, so nice to see you back again. We've been watching DWAC for a while, right? It looks like it is trending down, as is PHUN. PROG is the only stock that we're watching today, though I will pull up BKKT for a second to see what's going on with it. It looks like it's a little bit stagnant. But all the stocks that we've been watching have been trending down for the most part. Even PROG is down on the day. We trended down very strongly initially, but 350 is acting as a significant support for us. So hopefully we're going to be able to stay above that and start moving back up towards 400. That's the goal. No guarantees with it, though. We'll have to watch it closely, but we're hopeful, right? We are looking at a lot of bearish pressure coming from shorts with PROG. Let's pull that up on Ortex. We can pull up the short data and the short interest. So yeah, a lot of shorts have been acting on PROG, right? Up 7.79% short interest-wise on PROG today. Very high utilization, 99.38. So the shorts really should be running out of ammo, right? Sometimes they find new shares, who knows? But this utilization used to be higher at one point, right? However, shorts are doubling down, and this isn't. It doesn't quite make sense almost why they were able to do that when the utilization was already so high. But regardless, that brings us up to a short interest percentage of the free float of 51%. So very, very high short interest. What's unfortunate about PROG, though, if you look at the options, is that the $4 call options, which were once in the money, are now out of the money. And that means that all 24,000, almost 25,000 of these open interest call options are out of the money. And that's much less pressure on institutions to be buying up shares of PROG, because they no longer have to worry about covering 24,000 open interest call options. CRDL says Swaga Amatik. Let's take a look at CRDL. CRDL. Cardiol Therapeutics. Okay, so it looks like we got a bounce off of 5, which, we'd bounced off of before, and potentially we're just waiting for a rebound. So I'm not sure what the catalyst was on this, if there is a catalyst going on. They're expanding their Lancer trial as of about 9 days ago. Okay, so that's not bad, right? But let's see when that was. Just 2 days before they started, just a couple of days before they started to dump. So let's see the market cap on CRDL. CRDL, let's pull that up. $174 million market cap. Okay, not bad. Still low market cap, so there is the potential that it could run up big if it got a lot of momentum, but it looks like it hasn't had any massive spikes up in the past. And typically, when you're looking for a stock, if you're looking for this to spike up big, typically you want to see that it has had past spikes, because that indicates that a lot of traders might be watching it, though you can't see a big increase of volume lately. So that's a good thing. That could be speaking to the fact that it's becoming more of a legitimate company. So, this could be a long-term one, though. I obviously haven't heard of this before now, so I don't actually know about the fundamentals of it or if it's a good long-term hold, but it looks interesting, right? I do like these low market cap stocks, I will point out. I like these market caps that are sub 500 million because they really do provide a ton of upside if things go right for the company. They're also kind of risky, though. So What's Crackin' says, I made a custodial account as soon as I turned 16 in April. Made really good money, but now it's all down in DWAC. Should I sell to get some of my money back or hold? I'm thinking to hold. Well, I won't give out personalized financial advice, right? That's not what we do here. But I will tell you my opinion on DWAC. It seems like you might be new to the stream. I don't think I recognize your username. But my opinion on DWAC, I bought in at $24 and I'm still holding my shares, right? I sold 50 of them. I bought 200. Now I only have 150 left. I sold 50 of them around 36 on the initial pump up, and wish I hadn't, but that was decent to secure some profits. Now, with DWAC, obviously, it looks like it would have been a good sell above 100 because now it's sank down almost to 50. But with these things, it's really tough to time because there is, I think, going to be a lot of buying pressure for it. I'll show you why I think that. I do have a thesis on DWAC stock I'll pull up right here. 2020 election results. Let's see. So with DWAC, I think that because the implied shares outstanding, you can see them right here, are only 36 million. If you look at that right there, and if you look then at how many people voted for Trump in 2020, it's 74 million. Now, some people are saying not many of them are going to buy the stock. So, okay, let's say, 90% of them aren't interested in the stock market or don't want anything to do with DWAC stock or just haven't heard of it and aren't going to hear of it. Let's say 90% of people who voted for Trump aren't interested in this stock. That only leaves about 7 million people left. Now, that means that if they only bought 5 shares each, then DWAC would be completely taken up, right? The entire implied shares outstanding would be taken up, all 36 million, if 10% of the people who voted for Trump bought 5 shares each. And obviously, there are going to be people like me who buy 150 shares each. There are going to be institutions that want to have 1 million shares each. So I think that the bull case is very good for DWAC stock. I think that we really could see a lot of buying pressure, especially on these dips. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to continue to hold. But what's cracking for you? I mean, that's up to you and your risk tolerance if you want to sell or not. I can't tell you to buy or sell. That's not what we're here to do. But I'm just telling you, I'm just explaining why I'm not selling, right? Why I think that DWAC will continue to rise. I think that we haven't quite pumped up yet. I think a lot of people heard about this stock, and we can actually see that with Google Trends right here. We can see that a ton of people were hearing about DWAC. Let me refresh this for a second. Jeez. On Google Trends, hold on, it's giving me problems here. It wants me to confirm that I'm human. All right, obviously I've used Google Trends a little bit too much. There we go. There we go. Okay, nice. It just wanted me to do a little CAPTCHA to confirm that I was human. So, interesting. But the Google Trends data for DWAC stock, if you look at that over the past 7 days, I'm going to show you how much it's been searched and when, because when is very important, right? A lot of people were searching for DWAC stock on October 22nd. And October 22nd is this day right here for DWAC's pump, right? So a lot of people were hearing about this stock when it was reaching peaks of $175. And for much of the trading day, it was above $100. And, for most of it, it was above 80. So people were looking at this as a stock that just 2 days ago was trading at 10. And a couple were just not interested in getting in on the stock at this new, at the new price when they first heard about it, right? Because that's when most of the people were searching for this stock initially and learning about it. I think that there are now a lot of people who are looking to buy the dip, which we saw when we got very close to 50. We did just start to rebound and entered a little bit of an uptrend, you can see. So I think that there are a lot of people looking to buy. I'm not too worried about DWAC moving down that much. But Michael Shocker says, Rob, are you really a human? I think so, at least. Also, good morning. Good morning to you, Michael. Yeah, no, I think I'm a human. I'm pretty sure, at least. It'd be cool not to be, but I think I am. So, Dead Eagle 1, your theory on the shares and voting makes so much sense. I'm holding firm. Yeah, as am I, man. And once again, not trying to convince anyone to hold, but this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. We could see really bearish pressure with DWAC. We could dump. I'm not saying that's impossible. I just don't think it's likely, personally. So Trump is loved all over the world. A lot of other countries have not even heard of DWAC yet. I'm holding hard. Bullish as can be, says Lesko Brandon. Yeah, I think that, I keep hearing about Brazil. For some reason, that's something I've heard of a lot. People in Brazil really want this stock, and we can see it is actually pumping up massively on some big volume. Getting close. We hit 69. Hopefully we can get to 70. That's the hope. So Ambition 2020 says, halting keyhole DBGI. If someone's good with ping pong halts, it will do get in and out by lunch. Yeah, see, I'm wary of when stocks start getting halted, unfortunately, Ambition. I am wary of that. And what's cracking? Thank you for the support and explaining. I appreciate it. I will continue holding. Yep. As long as that's good according to your trading plan, right? You have to decide what your risk tolerance is. So that's up to you, man. But good to hear. So Vivi Reddick says, Rob Mazy, good morning. Do you know if we will have some news about the merge deal today? I'm not sure if news is coming out, right? If there is news, though, I will make sure to cover it. If we look here, we haven't seen any news on TD Ameritrade yet, right? Typically, they have pretty good coverage of stuff. They tend to announce any major events that have happened, so we will be watching it fairly closely on the news here. But it looks like we are seeing some bullish pressure potentially on some good news. I don't know what it could have been. We'll see in the next couple of minutes if anything pops up on the news here. But It looks like we are struggling with 70 once again, right? That's where we were struggling earlier today. Right around market open, we struggled with 70. We're going to see if we can't start making our way above it. So Yale G says, please give briefs of PHUN and BBIG. Thanks. Yep. And Ambition says, DBGI, yes, ping pong 10K. Nice, 10K profit right there. Awesome. And for Yale, yeah, so PHUN. So PHUN has typically, I will point this out, traded very similarly to DWAC. If you look at the past 10 days for both of them, you'll see what I'm talking about. Very similar charts, right? On the days that DWAC was pumping, PHUN was pumping, and on the days that DWAC was crashing, so was PHUN for the most part, right? Now, what I've noticed lately is initially PHUN tended to be a little bit more volatile, and actually there were some slightly larger gains on PHUN because the market caps on PHUN was much lower than DWAC. I'll pull this up. So we have the DWAC market cap right here of $2.5 billion, right? $2.5 billion market cap on DWAC, and on PHUN we have about a $350 million market cap, $360 million now that it's risen a little bit. So it's a lot more volatile than DWAC, but what I've noticed as of late is that it tends to be a little bit more bearish than DWAC, and you can see this is exemplified today as well when DWAC is up 8%, PHUN is down 0.63% on the day, right? Despite this big rise. So what I have noticed is on days that DWAC and PHUN are crashing, I think DWAC crashed maybe 21% and PHUN crashed a little bit more than that. It crashed like 30-something%. So PHUN tends to be a little bit more bearish, but more volatile as well. So if we did see a massive move in DWAC, it's possible that we would see a larger move in PHUN, but not guaranteed, right? It seems to be a little bit of a riskier play since it is a lower market cap. And for BBIG, I will pull that up real quick. But there isn't much to say about it other than the fact that it is dropping below $5 and that we just got bounced off of 5 today. And that likely, it's just going to stagnate, maybe trend down a little bit while we wait the next couple of months for the Tide dividend to get a bit closer. So we're really just waiting. We're playing a waiting game with BBIG, waiting for around December 27th. Probably a bit before then, maybe half a month before then. We'll be waiting to see this thing continue rising up or maybe start pumping maybe a month before then. But my expectation is that this could be moving down a little bit for a while, right? If 5 isn't going to hold for us, then we might be trending down until the Tide dividend gets a little bit closer. That's what I think about BBIG. Unfortunately, that's the case. So Johnny C says, good morning, Jason. Hoping for a strong TWAC day today. I'm not Jason Paulin, man. I'm Rob. So seems to have strong support at 66, but cannot break through and maintain at the $70 resistance level. Been this way for a couple days. Yeah, so we're currently watching $70 right now. It's acting as a bit of a resistance. At least it was earlier. We're going to see if that maintains itself right now, right? We are starting to move up. We're at 71, so I am hopeful for DWAC. We did just draw this line at 70 right here. But hopefully we can maintain above $70. That's what I'm hoping for, Johnny. And Michael Shocker says, been making decent coin off IONQ. Might be a bit pricey at the moment, but it's good long if you can get good price. Quantum computing, IONQ. Let's see. I think that was the ticker. Yeah, IONQ. Wow, yeah, that is up big over the past couple of days. Yeah, it might be a little pricey since it seems to be hitting a bit of a resistance that we reached in the past, around 13 bucks. We'll see with that. So let's see if any news did just come out for it. Nothing huge, it looks like, came out over the past couple of days, but let's see what the market cap is. I think that you might be saying this could be a good long-term fundamental one, potentially, right? Quantum computing, that sounds like a good thing to hold over the long term. So 2.46 billion. Yeah, so this is an established company then. It's not a micro. That looks pretty good. It looks like it might have been a SPAC at one point. Looks like it might have been. Yeah, but no, this could be good. I am a fan of quantum computing. I think that's the future for sure. So it'll be good to see if that continues moving up. Now, PHUN actually just had a very bullish bar right here, up 2.51% on the day, bringing them above their close. So that's great. We closed yesterday around 478 on PHUN, and now we're at 490. So that's really good to see with that. So there we go. PHUN doing decently. DWAC struggling with 70, right? Using it as a little bit of support right now. We're going to see if we don't get shot back down, we might start trending up. Hopefully we will. That's what we want to see with DWAC. We want to see just upwards momentum today, continuing this uptrend that we've been on over the past about a day and a half. We've just been on this little uptrend right here. So hopefully we will continue with that and use 70 as a support for us. Johnny T, sorry, Rob, flipping back and forth between you and Jason. No problem, man. I get that. Yeah, Jason's interesting. I've watched his channel for a bit. He has some good info on there. He's a good guy. It was interesting to see. He just came back into the YouTube space about a month and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 months ago. He'd taken a big break for a while, it looked like. But yeah, he's an interesting guy. Him and Hoop Money. It looks like they're doing live streams too over at Hoop Money. So we got a lot of YouTubers watching the markets now. Yeah, so we've got 88 viewers right now, 88 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up a touch just to 90. Maybe we'll bump it up to 100 if a lot of people are new to the stream. We'll see if we can't bump it up to 100, but 90 would be a good place to see if we could get it to at least. I think we could definitely do that. 2 more likes. That should be relatively easy for us to reach. So I'll pull back up IRNT real quick because this one has been on my radar as of yesterday. So we are just continuing to trend down, unfortunately. It's looking less and less likely that this is going to pump, which is unfortunate, right? Because a lot of people were hoping when they saw this massive move upwards yesterday, but the shorts seem to have gotten the better of IRNT. Let's pull that up right here. IRNT short interest on Ortex. Yeah, so the short interest is just, it's up massively, up 20% today. The shorts are killing this thing. That's what's going on here. The shorts do not want IRNT to squeeze them out. They're very worried about what would happen if IRNT did start to rise significantly because it is fundamental news. This is a serious company, and it has been at highs of 47.50. So it really could hurt some shorts pretty badly if it did start to move up. So it looks like shorts are trying to push us down. Michael Shocker, let's get 77.77 today. Make stocks great again. US DWAC, yeah, yeehaw. Yeah, I'm just hoping we can stay above 70. 77 would be great to see, though. That would be a nice move to the upside. Let's see, that would bring us very close. Yeah, very close to where we might start to see some resistance at 80 bucks. That is where we ended up bouncing off of during the initial day when a lot of people started paying attention to DWAC. We saw some support at 80, so it's likely that we might see a little bit of resistance. I'll actually draw that right here. You can see that we even saw some resistance before we pumped up, and then a little bit of support before reaching our highs. So 80 could be an interesting level for us to play with. 70 is where we're at right now, though. That's what we're worried about in the short term. It looks like we are sinking below just barely at 69.80. Hopefully we can get back above. And Maddie Vision, can you explain the haircut yesterday? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've had this haircut for several days now, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Can I explain the haircut yesterday? Maybe you're referring to a stock. Maybe a stock got a haircut with its price, right? Maybe it dipped a bit, but not sure what you're talking about, Maddie Vision. Not quite sure. Now, let's pull up. What were you going to look at? BKKT. We do want to watch BKKT. Yeah, so 31. We haven't looked at this in about 30 minutes or so back when it was down below 30, but we were suspecting that 31 would act as a resistance. Looks like it did. Unfortunately, we got pushed back down. The market sell-off. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured you were talking about. Yeah, so first of all, with BKKT, we are looking to get above 31. I will point this out because I know some people are in the stream looking for that. It has acted as a resistance for us in the past, and it's actually where we closed the initial day of this run-up, right? We closed right at 31, very close to it at least, and it did end up being a little bit of resistance for us just a little bit ago. So we're going to have to see if we can't get above that. But if we do get above 31, I'm bullish on it. Yeah, the market sell-off. Well, let's see, first of all, what we've got with SPY. I did not actually look at the market overall yesterday. I was looking more at these squeeze stocks, but let's see the news. What happened yesterday? Markets closed, futures market low session. Speaker Pelosi says Democrats close to agreement on top line for Biden bill. I think that maybe what was going on is the market may have just been getting a little bit frothy. It was getting close. Let's see if we can't get to the past year. Yeah, once again, we were beating our all-time highs. We were getting very close to those, and it doesn't surprise me that we sold off a little bit, but I have not actually been keeping up with the markets overall. Sometimes you do just see a big sell-off. I'm not too sure if there was a lot of news coming out for this, though. Iran says nuclear talks will resume by end of November. Yellen says Congress should extend child tax credit payments. I mean, a ton of stuff happens every day in the market, and it's tough to say exactly what is affecting it. I used to do on this channel, Maddie says, nice haircut, over. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But I used to do market analysis videos, right? General market stuff. And I will pull up some info. If you guys are interested, I will try to incorporate that a little bit since people are asking about the market. We have SPY right here, but I will find something, hopefully, that's going to be going on with the market that's interesting. Let's see if we can't pull up the key market events of the day. It looks like GDP is coming out at 8:30. Initial jobless claims, which was actually good, and pending home sales at 10. So initial jobless claims. This is actually probably important. It looks like October 28th, we just came out with it, and we did beat the forecast by a little bit, right? We were forecast to have 290K, 281K. Obviously, that's not going to move the market that much because it's a very small difference in the actual versus the forecast. But it's good to see the jobless claims are shrinking, right? You can actually see if we look at this overall trend, ever since COVID started, there were massive amounts of jobless claims, and we're finally starting to get back to where we were beforehand. Once we get to around 200, 220K, per month, that's what we want to see, right? So that would be more normal, all things considered, in our current economic environment. But pending home sales. All right, we'll look at houses for a second. We'll pull those up for just a minute. Just talk about the general market for a second because it looks like people might be interested in this. Pending home sales. This is my first time looking at National Association. I'm going to change the number of home sales. All right. Okay, so it looks like there are fewer than expected home sales, which could actually be good, right? Housing prices have been getting kind of crazy lately. I know a lot of people have been struggling to find housing. So it's not the worst to see that home sales have decreased, although it's potentially possible that they're decreasing because they've gotten so expensive. We'll have to see. Looks like PROG, though, is sitting at 350, almost stagnant at 350. We've just kind of been trading on it. We'll have to see which way we break out. We'll potentially be breaking out in a big way, one way or the other. I thought margin calls for Matty Vision. Potentially margin calls, potentially, but I don't see why institutions or whoever was buying would be seeing margin calls if the markets were at all-time highs, right? Maybe margin calls on some kind of short position that they had. I'm not sure. But Jialin Chen, any comments on Plug? We'll look at Plug. Plug is doing good. It's up 8%. Plug Power, which I have heard of, and I think is a decent fundamental play, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have followed. I think Meet Kevin talks about Plug Power a bit. I tend to trust his opinion on that kind of stuff on these tech stocks. But yeah, large market cap, 21 billion. Looks like they're very established. And 17 hours ago, they gained as the market dipped. They jumped today. Let's see if they have any actual news. They announced a commercial agreement to develop green hydrogen plants throughout Europe with Life Company. So that's good, actually. That's really good for Plug. Yeah, hydrogen plants. That hydrogen is that's a really good power source. Although, over the long term, I think we'll be looking more towards fusion. But yeah, fusion sounds very promising. We're just a little bit a ways away from actually being able to do that, but that could really solve most of our power problems. So also, banks have been tougher on loaning mortgages as they may know that housing may be overpriced and put in a future foreclosure situation. Yeah. Also, with housing prices, it's possible that as housing has gotten more expensive, there are a couple of situations. As housing has gotten more expensive, fewer people are able to afford it. That's a possibility. But also, people have been really buying up a lot of homes, and people may have been panicking and FOMOing into the housing market and may just have whatever homes they need. They might not need to actually transact in all these homes anymore. So potentially it's just slowing down naturally because less people are interested in moving. We were seeing a big spike. A lot of people were moving around because of, COVID and whatnot, the pandemic. People were moving around because of that. They wanted to get to areas with different laws and all that kind of stuff. So potentially, that has just slowed down naturally as people have had a chance to actually move. So Ambition 2020 says, I know homeless millionaires living with their parents. There is hardly nothing to buy. Multiple bids, all cash offers over asking. Housing is an all sellers market for a while. Yeah, that has been the case. Housing has it's good to see almost that the housing sales have slowed. Hopefully that will lead to a decrease in the price, because it is very expensive right now. Tough to find anything out there. I'm lucky that I'm not looking for a place at the moment, though I might consider it, if the market was doing a little bit better for housing, if it was a little bit cheaper. But DWAC is doing good, right? We're moving back up above 70 on good volume. Hopefully we can maintain that. And it looks like PROG is also doing decently, right? We're moving a little bit, slightly to the upside. We'll see if we can maintain that. We really want to see with PROG ourselves moving up to $4, because that is what was going to put a lot of pressure, looking at the options, on the institutions that have sold those options. So, 350 is a good starting place, right? There are about 25K open interest calls at 350, but there's another 25K, right? We could double that by getting to $4. So that would be great to see. We maintained ourselves above there for a while, but shorts did come in and push us down. If we look at the Ortex data for PROG, I'll pull that up one more time. I'm sure it's updated itself a little bit. But yeah, no, PROG has been getting pushed down a little bit. Quality of homes are terrible. Stay away from homes built in 2020 and first half of 2021. Yeah, that is kind of worrying, right? If you were to buy a new house, very expensive house, most likely, it could be of bad quality. And it looks like DWAC is making highs of the day on big volume. Really great to see. Awesome stuff. But PROG, yeah, so getting heavily shorted today. That's why we're getting pushed down a little bit in pre-market and today. So I know almost millionaires. Yep, we already saw that. Yeah. So the housing market, unfortunately, not great right now. Yeah, and I would also probably stay away from homes built in 2020. I'm not too keen on those. But all-time high volume for the day, right? 438,000 shares traded that minute, pushing us up above 73. Really great. That means we're up $1,200 on the day. That's what we'd like to see. We like to see green in this in these live streams. We like to see green. Seen number 3 lumber way more often. Yeah, the lumber's gotten incredibly expensive, so it doesn't surprise me that they have to, decrease the quality and use worse lumber. It doesn't surprise me at all. But I did just notice on this. I will cover up DWAC for a second, even though it's just skyrocketing right now. Tesla is up. I'm not sure who's interested in Tesla, but Tesla has been doing incredibly well, reaching all-time highs just recently, which we did cover on the stream one day when we were near $1,100. But it looks like we got close again today at 1081. Let's see. Yeah, so the all-time high was $1,094.94. So very close to 1,100. We're going to have to see. We have been trending up the past couple of days. Maybe we can continue moving up with Tesla. We have been doing just great ever since Hertz announced that they were going to be buying 100,000 Teslas. Great deal for Tesla, and the fact that we were breaking all-time highs was very good as well. So Matty Vision says, how's options looking on PROG? Yeah, that's what we were just looking at a little bit ago, but I was using the options on PROG to explain. This November 19th strike date, first of all, is the most important. You can see the other strike dates have very few, relatively few at least, open interest call options. Likely those will start filling up more after November 19th has passed. However, what we're looking at with the call options are mainly the $3.50 strike price, as well as the $4 strike price, because those have very many open interest call options for both of them. And those are the two levels that we're closest to right now, right? So we want to see ourselves maintaining above 350 and ending up, we want to get above $4, because that will put 24,000, almost 25,000 open interest call options into the money. And the longer those are in the money leading up to November 19th, the more buying pressure there's going to be from institutions who have likely sold those call options naked. The more shares they'll have to buy to cover the potential position that they'll have to pay out to people who have bought those call options already. So that is hopefully, we could even see this number increase as we lead up to November 19th. I think that some people are still, if you look at the volume for these call options, some people are still buying them. We've got a volume of 3,800 today, so we're going to have to look at this tomorrow and see what that's updated to. In other news, DWAC is up to 75. Just hit $75. That's awesome. Just a lot of bullish pressure with DWAC. I don't think any news happened over the 2 minutes ago, though. Shares rebound off $69 and spike to new session high on heavy volume. Stock up 14% over 74. So that's not necessarily news. That's just telling us what just happened. So, all right. So Pop Squash BKKT. Let's take a look at that. Let's replace Tesla for a second. So yeah, we're back up above 31. That's what we want with BKKT, right? We want to maintain above 31 for a couple of reasons. One, it was acting as a resistance for us in pre-market and early morning trading today. A couple of times we bounced off of 31, as well as the fact that we bounced off of it in after hours, and the fact that if we actually have to go back a couple more days, that when we initially saw this BKKT run up, 31 is very close to where we closed. So 31 is a very important level for BKKT. Hopefully, we'll be able to maintain ourselves above it. It looks like we have temporarily dipped down below. We are a little bit lower than 31 right now, but the fact that we're up there is looking good. Not great that we're seeing a decently sized red bar moving us down. But yeah, 31, like I said, fierce resistance. We want to see ourselves staying above it, though, because that's what's going to allow us to move up the next leg of this thing. So it looks like not right now, at least. We might be getting pushed down a little bit. We've still got a little bit of time. Potentially, we aren't actually downtrending yet. We might start moving up and break 31. We'll have to see it. We'll have to see it, though. DWAC halted? Never mind, no halt. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's not what we want. We do not want any more halts on DWAC stock. That really destroyed us last time when we started seeing all those halts. About a couple of days ago when we were at our highs, the halts really killed us. We don't want any more halts on DWAC, especially not to the upside, right? We definitely don't want upside halts. So that's good. Good that it was a misunderstanding, right? No halts on DWAC. PROG is struggling with 350, though. PROG, we really don't want it to drop below 350 because looking at the options, that is going to put, and it just did put out of the money, about 25,000 open interest call options. Really not good for PROG stock. We don't want that to happen because any institutions that have covered their 350 call option positions by buying shares, if this thing drops below enough, they may be able to start selling shares of PROG, expecting that these contracts will expire worthless and that they don't actually have to pay anything out to people who have bought them. So we really don't want that. We would much rather see PROG stay above 350 and trend up towards $4. That would be ideal. However, it's not the worst case scenario for PROG breaking below 350 because we still have a strong support at 320. If we look over the past 10 days, you can see we formed that as a range, as a key range that we were in, and then actually used 320 as a support the following day, pretty much the entire day leading into after hours before pumping up to 650. So hopefully, if we do drop below 350, 320 will act as a strong support. What we really don't want is to get stuck in this $2.80 to $3.50 range where we were prior to this. We really don't want to get back into that because that's just very low off of our highs. We want to keep moving up and keep the pressure on the shorts with PROG. We don't want to give them a chance to double down, and we want them to actually become buyers of the stock because they're worried about a short squeeze, right? We want them to become buyers. So loading up on BKKT, says Jared Dantilzer, or Dant Ziller, I think. We'll pull up BKKT again. We'll pull that up here. PHUN is doing decently, though. We're up 4.6% on the day. We're up to $5. So 5 is likely going to act as a resistance, much like 70 acted as a resistance for DWAC. On PHUN, 5 will likely act as a resistance. So let's zoom out a little bit. So it was acting as a support earlier in the pre-market. We had bounced off of it several times. Over here you can see we bounced off of 5, as well as, I'll zoom out a little bit more. I know it's tough to see with the face cam going, but you can see right here that we bounced off of 5 several times, and now we are bouncing off of 5 to the downside potentially, right? We are up above. We're just struggling with it right now. We'll have to see what happens with that. But BKKT, yeah, this is the one we want above $31. We're struggling with it. We're getting rejected, it looks like, right now, but there's always the chance that we'll see a big green bar taking us back up above. So that's what we're hoping for with BKKT. We want to be above 31. That's what's ideal for it, I think. I think that's, we've seen a lot of activity around 31, both support and resistance it's acted as. So I'm hopeful that if we can get above 31, then we could actually start entering the next leg up in BKKT. We'll see. We'll see if we can do that. But I will point out, the markets are doing decently, right? Apple is up 2%. Tesla's up 2%. We're doing decently. Google and Microsoft kind of lagging behind. Facebook as well in the red. Not great to see, but not horrific either. I hold, I think, all of these in my long-term portfolio. So overall, it's looking like a big green day for tech. And I would actually, instead of I am a fan of Tesla, and I would almost say that instead of it being in consumer cyclical, I would say it should be in tech. Really, I mean, they're working on AI and all that for their self-driving, so I really think Tesla's more of a tech stock, even though it is an auto manufacturer. I'm in that boat. I tend to think Tesla belongs more so in the tech space, but it looks like we have about over 100 votes in the poll and almost 100 likes, 99 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up one to 100. But we have over 109 votes in the poll. DWAC, 42% of people are thinking that it will be the most bullish today, and it's looking like that might be the case, right? It's up 13%, and we have broken key level at $70. So PHUN at 14%, people think that will be the most bullish. We're up 5%, up above $5 still. So if we can maintain that, we might see a further move to the upside. PROG, though, a lot of people are bullish on. I am bullish on this as well, as long as we can maintain ourselves above 350. I'm really hoping that we can bounce back, maybe during lunch or during power hour potentially. We'll have to see what happens with it. But I want to see us bouncing off of 350, not moving below. That could lead to us being bullish today, right? We're only down 6%. That's not that big of a move for PROG. And BKKT, 10% of people are bullish on. Yeah, it looks good. BKKT looks good as long as we can get above 31. That's what's going to be important. TRIT review for ping, please. TRIT. Okay, so Triteris Inc. Let's look at the past. Let's look at the past year and just see what's been going on. So it was dipping a bit. It looks like it's spiking up on massive volume today. Any news for it? Resume trading. So that's not great. They were halted. Announces committee investigation has concluded allegations in January. Short report lack either factual support or material basis and do not require additional action by the company. Okay, so it looks like there was some kind of short report. All right, and they lack factual support and material basis. Okay, so looking like, I guess that's good news for the company. I'm not sure what the background of this was, but yeah. So it bounced off of 6. Now we're at 951. We'll have to see if we can make new highs. It looks like 9 is acting as a pretty significant resistance for us. 920 at least. But as for where we're going, it looks like we are still in a little bit of an uptrend. You can see that we have been making higher lows as the day's gone on. Not bad. So, maybe as we get closer to this line, we could start to see a little bit of a bounce upwards. It really depends on the length of the trade, though, and the risk tolerance. This is looking like an interesting one. I probably won't trade it just because I tend to not trade stocks that I've just heard of. I think that my analysis of them is not quite as good as some after I've been watching them for a couple of days and realizing what's been going on with them. But PhD Dragon or PH Dragon 34 IRNT, my hopes down the toilet. Yeah, IRNT hasn't been doing great. We'll look at that in a second, but it does look promising, right? You see this common pattern, moves up, dips down to this line, moves up, dips down, not quite to the line actually, but we are seeing a good pattern with it. So potentially we'll be looking for a bounce. We are on a green bar right now. It might bounce a little bit off of 8 as well. The fact that we are at 8 could be significant. We have used that as a little bit of a support in the past, and it looks like we did see some support over here as well. We're breaking through it a little bit, but we'll have to watch. I'll get rid of this. So yeah, this could be a good one, but a little too risky for me. The fact that it is up massively, right? I probably won't be getting in on it, but IRNT will pull up real quick. Yeah, no, it has just been trending down. That is unfortunate. I'll pull up the short data for it. I'll pull up the short data on IRNT. It doesn't look good. We are about to see exactly why this thing is down 20%. And you can see it right here with the short interest change. We've increased short interest by 23.98% today. Shorts really doubled down and almost fully utilized this thing. So, yeah, shorts really tried wrecking it. Will likely, as this yellow line updates, probably tomorrow we'll see it start moving up a bit. But IRNT did just get wrecked. That's really unfortunate, yeah, that IRNT got crushed. It looks like the shorts ended up taking control. It's not a guarantee that it's not going to continue moving up because it is actually fundamental news that was moving the company up, right? Their Microsoft partnership. And Adam Walsh says, I bought a 2020 home, damn. Doesn't mean that it's not a good home, right? That's, it doesn't mean that it's not a good home. Not for sure, right? Maybe some of the homes are better than others. But yeah, I would just be more wary. And I'm talking about in the future, right? If you can get one now, then it might be worth it. But in the future, I'd be wary. If there's more options available in the future, I'd be just a little bit wary because I know a lot of homes are being built right now and potentially to slightly lower standards because of increased material costs and all that. So HCWB, let's take a look at that, says Ambition. HCWB. Oh, interesting pattern that we're seeing with this, right? So first of all, let's just take a look at the long term. I like to do that first. Yeah, also another massive move up 100% on the day. Halt on circuit breaker. Not great that they've been halted. Like I said, I don't like it when stocks get halted because you can really get trapped. So the daily biotech pulse. HC cleared for phase 1 study of pancreatic cancer drug. So that's not bad. That is good fundamental news. It could maintain some of these levels, but let's see what we're looking at. Looks like we're getting some support around 5. That's nice. This is support around 5. Also resistance at 7. So it could be an interesting one to play in between these two levels. But I'm not too sure. Depending on the risk tolerance, right? I'm not sure. Let's see the market cap for this company. HCWB. These are interesting ones, though, Ambition. Thank you very much for pointing them out. Yeah, so $214 million market cap. So this is a pretty volatile one, and that's after it's increased by 100%. So it was about $100 million market cap before. But we could be looking at a bounce off of 5 if we do end up moving that low. Obviously, we just saw a bounce off of 7 to the downside, but it could be an interesting one to play between 5 and 7 if you're willing to wait for slightly longer time frames, right? If you're not looking to scalp and if you're looking to stay in for a couple of bars, that could be interesting. I think the Canadian housing market will drop maybe 20 to 30%. Interesting, Giofa. Why the Canadian housing market? Has that been blowing up as well as the U.S. housing market? I'm not sure. But I know the U.S. housing market has gotten very expensive. I'm not sure about Canada's housing market, though. We'll back up BKKT for a second. I'm curious to see if that's no, it's not going to break 31 anytime soon. It looks like we did just get bounced off a second time. Unfortunately, that's too bad. Yeah. So Canadian housing market. Obviously, a lot of housing markets may have been disrupted due to the pandemic and all that. I'm sure a lot of people were looking to move to different areas just based off of what regulations are available in certain areas. So, I think a lot of housing markets may be disrupted, and also the influx of cash that was generated, right? A lot of the world's money supply was printed last year, and a lot of people had a lot more money, and they were buying up a lot more homes, right? The stock market went crazy. They were buying up stocks like crazy. They were likely buying up houses like crazy as well, which definitely, did lead to big increases in price. And DWAC, this is looking very good, right? The fact that we are now using 72 as a bit of a support instead of resistance, as we had in the past. You can see 72, we bounced off of twice, and now that we've shot up above it, we're starting to just get close to it and then move up in a big way. So we might be making all-time highs of day very soon. I'm hopeful on it. It's almost above 75. Almost above 75. We're going to see. We just need to beat 75.50 to get all-time highs of day. That would be good. We are experiencing big volume. We're very close to it on this big volume, so we're going to see. Wouldn't surprise me to see another little pop up and break the highs of day. Yep, there we go, 75.98. Nice. There we go. Broke 75, so Jacob Hillard. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. We're going to see if we can break 76. Maybe we can get to 77.77. Let's hope. Let's hope for that. Yeah, it does. So big volume, and it seems to be a similar pattern every time, since around 10 o'clock when we've just spiked up on big volume. We've moved down a little bit afterwards, then spiked up again on massive volume, decreased a little bit. Now we're spiking up again on big volume. So we'll see. It looks like we have slightly lower volume than last time, and the decrease might be ensuing right now. So we'll see. Maybe we'll use 74 as a support this time before we continue moving up. Michael Shocker says 77.77. Here we come. I hope. We're getting close. Only $1.77 away from it at the highs right there. So we're getting close to it. PHUN is not having as good of a time as DWAC. You can see it did move up when DWAC was moving up, but once again, in more of a bearish way, right? It didn't end up breaking its old highs. $5 is acting as a very fierce resistance for it. So we're going to see. It is currently below $5 right now, $4.99. 501. So 350 is also acting fairly significantly for PROG. We've just been bouncing around this thing all day, getting tighter and tighter on it. So we're going to see. I suspect it could break out in a big way to one direction or the other. We're just going to have to see how long it maintains its level at 350. Very interesting to see the battle ensuing. KTZ says diamond hands. Yep, Diamond Hand's here too, man. I'm still holding. I'm still holding my shares, 24 or 24 cost average, but 150 shares right here, up 1,500 on the day. It pays to have Diamond Hand sometimes. I think a lot of people are waiting for a dip on DWAC, and we might. This is too large of a time frame, but we may, if we zoom out to 30 days right here, we may end up seeing some people start FOMOing in if we break levels like 80 and 100. I think that we could start seeing some people who were waiting to buy the dip, maybe realize, oh, we're not going to dip as low as I thought, and start buying in to DWAC a little bit, maybe at elevated prices even. So we'll have to see. Obviously, that's all the buying pressure we can get is good for the stock, right? The fewer shares that are available for purchase, right? The more people who are just holding these things and are unwilling to let them go until we get to very high prices, the better. ELG, which one will get earlier short squeezing? DATS, BBIG, PROG, and PHUN. Thanks. So let me actually pull up the short data on PHUN. I don't know if we've looked at that yet on this channel, but I will pull it up. I am curious. Okay, so very low. Yeah, very low short data on PHUN. Only 5.5% short interest of a percentage of the free float. So not huge on PHUN. So I'm not too concerned about a short squeeze for PHUN. But PROG looks very promising, right? This one might be, and DATS I haven't actually looked at too recently, but let's take a peek. Let's pull that up on Ortex as well. But PROG is looking very promising. Most likely, in my opinion, that is the one that could be moving up the most and the most quickly because of the short interest. Although DATS does look fairly promising as well. If you actually look at a longer time frame, we're not near the all-time highs of the stock. And with PROG, we are very close to the all-time highs, right? Although, if you look at a slightly larger time frame, maybe 90 days, you can see that we're still very close to all-time highs. If you look at that with DATS over the past 90 days, we're not. So it seems like shorts may have had a chance to build up their position at higher price points on DATS and aren't necessarily in a position where they're about to get squeezed. They might even be in a profitable position right now, though it has risen significantly over the past day. It has been trending down. So with PROG, on the other hand, it's been trending up over the past while. And a lot of shorts were building up their positions around here. So a lot of shorts are down on money. It seems very likely that some shorts may need to start covering if we can see a big burst in price and maintain that level for a significant period of time, right? If we can get maybe above $5, that could really start squeezing out some of the shorts. $4 we saw didn't quite do it yet. We didn't quite squeeze out shorts when we were above 4. We were trading above that for a little bit of time on PROG. We got as high as 441, 442 maybe during the actual trading day. Obviously, we saw much higher prices in after hours and pre-market both of these days, but now it looks like we're downtrending a little bit. Hopefully 350 will act as support for us, though. That's the hope with PROG. It would not surprise me to see that be the case. We are seeing fairly bullish days for a lot of stocks like DWAC, PHUN is up, even DATS is up. So PROG is the only one that's actually down on the day, which is unfortunate, but shorts really are doubling down. I'll pull up the short data on PROG. We can see it right here. The short interest as a percentage of the free float is 7.64%. So, is 51.46%. It's increased by 7.64% on the day. So this one really does have a lot of short squeeze potential, but also what's promising about it is the options for PROG. And I'll get to the rest of the comments in just a second. But the options for PROG look really good because the $3.50 call options and the $4 call options have so many open interest call options right there, right? 24,000 each, almost 25,000 each. So combined, it's about 50,000 open interest call options. If we could get above 4 and maintain that level by November 19th, then PROG could really be in for a gamma squeeze type situation where a lot of institutions would have to start buying up shares of PROG to cover up those options contracts. And that is what I think could put some pressure on shorts to start covering, right? If they saw that this price was just moving up and up and up because we had broken and maintained above 4 and we got a little bit of a gamma squeeze, that could really cause the short squeeze, which is what we're all hoping for. Right, so GLN Chen, DWAC is too pricey for me to get in now. Yeah, it has been moving up 14% on the day. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But Yasa Khan, hey, do you see PHUN going in the $11 to $12 range? I bought it at $10.80. See, with PHUN, with PHUN, we're really trading synonymously with DWAC for the most part. However, it does tend to be a little bit more bearish, right? You can see that DWAC, well, we have very similar charts. I'll actually pull up PHUN here so that you can see it a little bit better, right? So you can see very similar charts with PHUN and DWAC, right? Spikes at the same time, dips at the same time, and I'll pull up BKKT for a second for those of you who are interested. But while they do tend to trade very similarly, right? They tend to spike at the same time and dip at the same time. PHUN tends to be a little bit more bearish, and it tends to dip a little bit more than DWAC, and that's understandable. It's a much smaller market cap. It's a much less known company as well. More people are interested in DWAC than PHUN because this is the company that's actually going to be merging with Trump Media. However, PHUN has shown that it's more volatile at times, right? Its highs were much higher percentage-wise gain than DWAC's highs, right? This stock, PHUN was trading around $1 before the spike and reached $24 for a 24x in price. DWAC was trading around $10 and ended up spiking to $175. I mean, so it was about a 17.5% increase. Sorry, not. I'm getting a little tired here. 17.5x in the stock price. So it is a little bit less volatile, both to the upside and the downside. However, more recently, PHUN has been slightly more bearish than DWAC, right? DWAC is up 15% on the day, while PHUN is up 4% on the day, following a very similar pattern to DWAC. You can see spikes at the same time. However, the spikes are lesser than DWAC spikes. So can it get to 11 or 12 bucks? It can, but we'll have to see a lot of positive pressure with DWAC as well. So I think DWAC might, in my opinion, it's a better buy. That's the one that I'm invested in. I'm not invested in PHUN. But Vivi Reddick says, can you talk about SENS, please? I will look at SENS. I'll pull up PHUN here on the side just for those who are interested. We'll just get that up over there. And SENS, that was it, yep. SENS, if we can get this thing to load, that would be nice. Okay, we just got it. I'll pull up there, Yahoo Finance. Okay, so looks like SE Sensonic Holdings. So $1.5 billion market cap. That's not going to be impossible to move, but a little bit tougher than the lower market cap ones, like like even PHUN, much lower market cap than this. But it looks like the best catalyst that we're going to have is likely the earnings call, right? That's what could really move this thing. Looking forward, that's what I'm seeing right now, at least. The only thing that's looking too important for them in the near term. I'm not an investor in this company, so I don't know all that much about them. But it looks like we have almost been we're getting very close to what could be a somewhat volatile period, right? The fact that we are seeing higher highs or higher lows and lower highs is very interesting. The fact that we are kind of trading in this triangle right here. So we'll have to see what happens, right? We obviously could be exploding out one way or the other. It's actually kind of fortunate that the earnings call is lining up with when we might be trading around the end of this triangle right here. So that could be very interesting to see. We could be in for a lot of volatility, either to the upside or the downside. I can't say for sure which way this is going because I don't know enough about the company or what the catalysts are for it. But we'll see. It could be. Which one is better, SENS or PROG, says Vivi Reddick. So PROG I know more about. I can't say which one is better because I don't know much about an SENS. But PROG does look really promising, right? The fact that it's near its all-time highs, that we are at a support level right now. Hopefully, we can maintain above 350, right? We don't want to see ourselves moving down below, and if we do, we definitely don't want to break below $3.20. That's another key level for the stock. If you look over the past while, you can see that we were trading in that range, in the range of $2.80 to $3.20 for quite a while. And we ended up using $3.20 as a support afterwards. So we really don't want to break back down into this range. But in terms of which one's better, if I were to trade one, I would say PROG because I don't know much about SENS. So unfortunately, I'm not too much of a help. Retire Early Canada says, great analysis, Rob. Just fell on your channel 2 days ago. Keep up the content. DWC all the way. Yeah, I'm very bullish on DWAC, and thank you for Thanks for the comment, man, and the subscription as well. I appreciate that. So, yeah, DWAC, I'm very bullish on. I know a lot of people who are new to the channel are DWAC bulls, and I think that it's going places. I think that we're all going to be rewarded. It's just my opinion, not financial advice, but I think we're all going to be rewarded for holding this thing. I'm very bullish on it. And Emil, can you look closer on Mark? Doji on daily and 100% utilization. Mark, yeah, Mark is an interesting one. Mark is an interesting one. We have been looking at Mark oftentimes during the live streams, but I will pull up market cap 212 million, and it follows a very similar pattern to PHUN and DWAC. So you can see that it did spike up. Let's actually pull out the 10-day. So very similar pattern. It doesn't trade as synonymously as PHUN does to DWAC, but it's kind of similar, right? Kind of similar. You see a lot of volatility these days, and a very, very similar pattern. But it's, once again, similar to PHUN in the sense that it follows DWAC to an extent, but tends to be a little bit more bearish. It tends to have slightly lower gains. It's a slightly less well-known stock. DWAC is up 13%, while Mark is down 3.25%. And I think the only thing that we could really see that would be getting Mark stock up is DWAC stock soaring very high, right? So I'm not sure. People holding MARK and PHUN and all that, while those are potentially very promising, right? They're much lower market cap. They could move up quite a bit. They're not quite as bullish, in my opinion, as DWAC, just because they're not as well known. They could be very volatile in the future, though. And obviously, when something is very volatile, there is the potential that it will be moving up more than something that's a bit more stable. It has a much higher market cap. DWAC does, at least. So Mark has some potential, but I'm not sure if I'm probably not going to be holding it, right? We were down at 91 cents, down below $1 before this massive pump up. Now we're at 2. It's not the worst price, but ideally we would have stayed above 2. Now we're using 2 as a bit of a resistance. So if we could get above 2, that could be good for Mark stock. But Earl says, I'm holding BBIG. How much do you think the dividends will be per share? That's really tough to say. No idea how much the dividends will be. I mean, it's a dividend in the form of a company, right? So they're giving you a new company with the ticker symbol TYDE when that actually ends up happening, right? When BBIG does that tied dividend, that'll be in a couple months from now, in about 2 months from now. So really, there's no telling. I mean, I don't think anyone knows how much that company's going to be worth. It'll be very interesting to see, because it will tell you a lot when you see the actual price action on what Tide does on its day of release. It'll be very interesting to see, if it does continue trading somewhat stably around where it opens, or if it spikes down instantly. That will tell you that a lot of people who were in on the Tide dividend don't care about the company. They just wanted the free money from the dividend, basically, and they'll just be looking to sell it. So yeah, it's very there's really no telling how much the dividend will be. And Riggs X says, hey, it's my boy Rob in the building. Wishing you a very prosperous day, brothers. Cheers. Wishing you a very prosperous day as well, man. Good to see you again. I recognize you from the streams. We've seen you many times, and glad to have you here. So Ambition 2020 says, rapid fire questions at Rob today. I think I see a slight swear breaking. Yeah, I mean, the rapid fire questions, I appreciate it, but it's a little tiring, right? I'll admit it's a little tiring, but it keeps the streams interesting, so I do appreciate that. And normally in real life I do swear a bit more, but on YouTube I don't think they like that very much. At least that's what Graham Stephan would have me believe. So I tend to withhold the swears, right? I don't swear on stream or in the videos. I try not to, at least, right? Just because I think YouTube ends up punishing you a little bit if you do. So I try not to. But Max Maida and Emil says, thank you. You're welcome, man. Max Maida says, thoughts are on BRPM. Let's take a look at. Oh, sweat breaking. Yeah, Ambition. There is, probably more of a sweat, right? Probably more of a sweat then. That makes sense. BRPM. We'll look at that. We'll look at that. Yeah, that's funny though. That's funny. So B. Riley Principal. I have heard of this actually. I have heard of this stock before. I'm not sure why I've heard of it though. But it looks like it's up not that much actually. I don't know why this spike looks so significant. I guess it is a 50% increase. Let's pull up on Yahoo BRPM. Let's pull that up. So, once again, we're looking at the low market cap stuff, $242 million. That seems to be a trend here, right? It seems like people really like these low market caps, as do I. I think that when a market cap is that low, there really is big potential for the stock if it really catches on, if it becomes popular and successful. I think that's the best kind of company to be in on early, right? Low market cap ones specifically, right? Because they have so much upside, right? If this became a very popular stock, it could easily become a $1 billion market cap just from hype almost. And then you'd be 5x in your money, or 4x in your money, I guess. But yeah, BRPM, that looks promising in the sense that it's a low market cap. But let's see if we can't find some news about it and see what's been going on. Youth-focused digital platform FaZe Clan inks $1 billion SPAC deal to go public. I'm not sure if that's what this is. Okay, so it looks like perhaps they're going to be partnering up with FaZe, F-A-Z-E. Okay, yeah, so they're going to be taking on FaZe Clan public. So, special purpose acquisition company rose 13%. Volume for the stock was 11 million. All right, and the proposed transaction implies an equity value of $1 billion for the combined company. All right, interesting. So, upon completion of the proposed combination, the merger will change its name to FAZE Holdings, likely traded under the ticker symbol FaZe. So that looks promising. Let's see what FaZe does, because I think I may have heard of FaZe Holdings. Let's see. FaZe Clan going public. IGN has this. Oh, is this a gaming company? Esports and gaming organization FaZe Clan. Interesting. So let's pull this up. FaZe is an esports company, and these have been doing very well, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people have been turning to more online forms of entertainment, more online sports, if you will. If you count video games as sports, then yeah, these esports have been getting very popular. So that's interesting. This has some actual potential. That is very curious, right? $1 billion market cap doesn't sound like the highest, because these kinds of things can move up and down in popularity very quickly and could actually end up becoming worth quite a bit if it gets enough revenue from the esports. So very easy to scale stuff online. I am a fan of that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, FaZe looks promising. So yeah, Max Midas says it's merged with FaZe Clan. Yep, is DWAC Trump's only listed company? GLN Chen says, I believe so. I believe that it's the only one that's going to be merging with Trump Media Corporation. So yeah, I think that DWAC is the one that's actually going to be doing the merger. So yeah, I believe. And Riggs X, something I noticed about PROG Weekly is that it has high volume Monday, Tuesday, and volume dies down towards the end of the week, just like the stock price. Noticed it the last 4 to 5 weeks. Bullish on PROG. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. Let's actually pull it out by the day. Let's do it that way. So yeah, so 9:30 to 10:01. Okay, so yeah, I see what you're talking about. Here's on the Monday, and then volume's high on Tuesday as well. It dies down a little bit. And then here's Friday. Once again on Monday, big spike up in volume. Lots of volume on Tuesday as well. It dies down the next couple of days. Monday, or here's Friday actually. We had a decent Friday. Then Monday here, significant volume. Not quite holding to the pattern exactly the same, but somewhat, right? Very close to it. Very interesting observation. Thank you for that, Riggs X. Thank you for that. That is interesting. So potentially, based off of that, it might not be the most surprising to see PROG drop below 350 today. Maybe we'll use 320 as a support, and Monday could be when we end up coming back in a big way. That's very possible. I mean, it's nice that PROG is giving us time with these options contracts, right? They don't expire until November 19th, so it's not like we're in some emergency situation and need to be pumping up instantly to get these to gamma squeezes. We have until November 19th, so it might not be the worst thing in the world to see the continuation of that pattern, because it has been leading to us moving higher and higher. So maybe we are destined to move down below 350 today. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously, everyone just wants it to keep going up in a straight line, but that's not always the case. Sometimes if you can identify a good pattern like that, thank you very much, Riggs. I appreciate you as well. Yeah, that could be a very good way to play it on a weekly basis. So thoughts on ATER, says San Diego. Yeah, let's look at ATER. So we're up 2.49% on the day. We're getting very close to an earnings call. Not that far off. Let's see if we can't find that. Yeah, so on the 8th of November, we have the ATR earnings call. Now, ATR, unfortunately, has been suffering a lot. This used to be one of the more promising plays because way back when, we were up near 20 bucks, and we did identify that. We talked about this before it pumped up to 20, and we did identify 20 as a likely spot that it would be bouncing off of because 20 has acted as both a fierce support and a fierce resistance in the past. So we did identify that, and we ended up, unfortunately, bouncing off of 20 in a somewhat significant way. You can see when we did get to the highs, not on here, but 90 days ago, we got to $19.93 as the high, and then $19.84. So we couldn't quite break 20. If we had, that could have been really good for the stock. However, there were a lot of traders who likely took that as a technical pattern when shorts started pushing us down and realized that we were moving down in a big way, which we did. We rebounded a little bit. Now we've just been sinking and sinking. I can show you guys the short interest on ATR. But, shorts did unfortunately get away with it on this one. It looks like they've been doing a pretty good job of keeping us pushed down. And now it looks like they might be beginning to cover a little bit, right? Short interest is down 1.3% today, but still, we've got 35% of the free float being shorted. So with ATR, though, we are getting fairly low in price. Looking at the past year, it would not surprise me to see us moving back up above 8 as shorts begin to cover their positions. I mean, I'm not sure how low they think they can take this company, but there is potential with it, right? We're still at a fairly high utilization rate, but it's not as high as it could be, so obviously shorts aren't doubling down as much as they could. I think that they realize they have pushed this down quite a bit. They started shorting probably, around above $15, so they've already made quite a hefty profit, and I don't know how much they can really push this down anymore. So old Five and Dimer, good to have you on. Good to have you on too. Let's see. Ambition 2020 says I wanted to ping pong HCWB, which we can take a look at again. We haven't looked at that since the first time. But it's none. It stopped climbing. Can't find a keyhole interesting at this point. Just looking to get 596 and I'll buy. So let's see what's going on with it over the past little bit. Yeah, so it kind of has been kind of stagnant, right? Still a little bit of volatility, some big bars there, but not exactly the big bounces that we were seeing earlier today, taking us between 5 and 7. So not as volatile as it could have been, but yeah, it looks like, so 596, what are you talking about? Let's see, 596. Yeah, it looks like it did just drop down below that just a little bit ago, but it looks like it was very brief that it was down there for, so maybe we'll get there. We were just down at 601. That could be good. That could be a good buy. Yep, so let's see. We've got 110 likes, 92 viewers. Let's see if we can't burst the likes up a little bit. We'll pull up IRNT. But let's see if we can get that to 115. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I'm hopeful, though. I'm hopeful that we can burst it up to 115. And it looks like, oh, man, DWAC. Let's extend this to the right for just a little bit, just for today. We'll get rid of these eventually, but it looks like we are breaking down below 72, which we were hoping would act as a support for us. It's not guaranteed that we're going to stay below that. Hopefully we won't break below 70, but it has acted as a resistance over the course of the day twice. So we were hoping to see a bit of support at 72. We'll have to see with that, though. Hopefully we can get that. At 114 likes, we only need one more person to like the stream to get it to 115, which is the goal. So we'll see if we can do it. And on that, I will actually be right back, guys. Little bathroom break right here. So I'll be right back in just a moment. Hold tight. Okay, and we are back. Nice. There we go. Let's see. What has changed? Not much. It looks like PROG, unfortunately, is still dipping below 350. We really want to see us get back above that, but DWAC, on the other hand, might be regaining its $72 support. We'll see. We'll see about that. Hopefully. Hopefully it does. IRNT has just been dipping basically the entire day. It's basically just a straight line down. There's been a little bit of volatility around it, but it's been sticking very closely to basically just moving down like that. So we don't like that too much with IRNT. It looks like shorts might be getting the better of us in this situation, unfortunately. Okay, so what have we got? Nice, and we actually, well, we got up to 123 likes. Awesome job, guys. Thank you very much. So, C4 Stocks says, thanks, bro. You're welcome, man. Thank you for joining us today. So we've gotten 159 votes on this poll. Yeah, IRNT, huge letdown. I was ready to go. It didn't buy. Yeah, I didn't buy it either. I was going to wait to see what happened because I know that oftentimes, you see something spike up massively and sometimes you get killed off in the after hours and pre-market, and I know I wasn't going to be awake to have a stop loss ready if I did see it dipping. So I was just going to wait and see what happened this morning. Unfortunately, it was just bearish all morning. So yeah, I never got into IRNT either. But we've got this poll right here, and we have 160 votes in it so far. What are you most bullish on today? Most people have said DWAC, right? 46% of people have said DWAC, 30% have said PROG, 16% have said PHUN, and 8% have said BKKT. Now, BKKT, we haven't looked at in a bit. If we could get above 31, that would actually be really great for the stock, right? Because 31 is acting as a very fierce resistance for us. We've gotten bounced off time after time. And for those of you who are new to the stream, I will point out, it is where we ended up closing on the initial day of the pump. So we closed right at 31. It's a very important level. We touched it yesterday and after hours, today in pre-market, and during the trading day several times. So 31 is what we're really looking for with BKKT. The fact, if we do end up getting above 31 and holding above it, that could be an indication of a new breakout. So let's see, Lucid doing well, says Joseph Agnello. Let's take a look at Lucid. I am a holder of Lucid stock, so yeah, woo, wow, that's what we were looking for with Lucid, up 21% on the day, finally breaking out of that range. That's incredible stuff. That's really great. Let's see if there's anything that prompted this, or if it ended up just being a pump up. So it looks like they broke it in pre-market. So if anything happened yesterday. Fiscal quarter. Oh, was this their earnings? No, I don't think so. November 15th. They are going to report it on November 15th. All right. It might just be a big push in the stock price. I don't know if there's any actual catalyst that did this other than them announcing their earnings call would be on November 15th. But really good to see us finally breaking out of that range. Lucid is one that I've been covering for a while. And we have identified $28 as a key resistance for us. We got bounced off of it countless times, and people have just been waiting for us to start moving up. It's unfortunate I wasn't keeping as close of an eye on it over the past couple of days. I would have liked to potentially be getting in on Lucid before it did this. If I had noticed it was at 28, although it looks like it was just such a quick thing that happened, right? We bounced off of 28 yesterday. I probably should have been paying a little bit more attention to Lucid, but yeah, now that we're above 28, sky's the limit, right? So you can see over the past year, 28 has been acting as the all-time resistance for this stock, but our all-time highs are $65 just about. So Lucid could be doing good. It's in the long term. I wanted to take a swing position on it, though. Wanted a swing position on Lucid. But yeah. Newfam sucks that like 5 stocks mysteriously start popping after DWAC started. Divide us, conquer us. Yeah, that is kind of what happened. If you look, PHUN did as well. MARK did, and yeah, then they're able to get shot down. If all of that buying pressure had been in DWAC, that really could have shot up the price. However, it may have been at the detriment of many people who were buying DWAC later, because if all of this money had been flowing into DWAC, unless everyone just held the shares, then almost certainly, we will see at some point a peak, and a lot of people may end up losing money on the stock. Those who are buying at the top, if you get in early enough, then you can certainly make quite a bit of money And I still think we are relatively early in this, right? I'm still holding my shares. I've still got my 150 shares right there. For those of you who are new to the stream, I bought in at $24.18. We're looking at a $7,200 profit and loss since open and a $1,100 profit on the day. But I think that could be quite a bit more by over the next couple of weeks and months. I think that this could grow quite a bit. We'll have to see with it though. But escape to Guyana. What's up with CYBL? Let's take a look. CYBL. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So very cheap stock, 4 cents per share. I think we might have been looking at this yesterday, actually. Let's see the market cap on this. It must be minuscule. Yeah. $6 million market cap. That's what's up with it. It's a $6 million market cap, easy to push around in any direction. So I don't know what's going on with it, but basically the most recent thing that just happened yesterday was the company partners with Miss Nolan and Strike Points Consulting LLC to provide strategic guidance and business development to supercharge the company's operation and alpha execution. So just got a new partner, new strategic advisor for the stock, but I'm not sure how much that could really pump the stock up, right? Obviously we're up, or we're down on the day, but we're seeing a little bit of bullishness today, at least it looks like. At least based off where we opened, we're a little bit above that. But yeah, very cheap stock, $6 million market cap, very low, almost worth getting in on. Just in case it goes to $60 million, but I don't know what this company does. I'm not going to buy it. But yeah, I'll pull up CoinMarketCap and we'll look at SHIB. Right here, you can see. So it looks like SHIB did just drop below it. It did dip a little bit below Dogecoin. That's unfortunate. But Jared Dontilzer says, last Shiba dip before the rip. Still only 1/10 of the holders of Dogecoin will 100x in a year. Oh, does it only have 1/10 of the holders of Dogecoin? That's interesting. I guess they just hold a lot more of it because the market cap is the same. So there must be some big holders in SHIB. And yeah, no, SHIB is definitely, Shiba Inu coin, I will tell you, is far less well known than Dogecoin. Dogecoin is still something that I can talk to my friends about who don't know much about finance or cryptocurrencies, and they'll know what I'm talking about when I'm saying Dogecoin. But Shiba Inu coin, they have never heard of. So it still is much less mainstream than Dogecoin was. And that means that there is the potential that if it is to become more mainstream, then it really could pump up a lot more as people buy into it. However, that means some people are likely to become bag holders. We've seen it with cryptocurrencies. Oftentimes they do peak. So we'll have to see how high this peak is. I'm just going to hold on to my coins. Who knows what they could be worth? I really don't have many at this point. So we'll see what happens with SHIB. I am interested to see, though. It has been doing very well lately, so that's good for them. And good for Dogecoin, too. I think that they inspired a bit of a Dogecoin rally. I think that people saw how good SHIB was doing and started buying Dogecoin. Because if you look, Dogecoin did just see a big spike up, right? Back above 30 cents per coin, 31 cents per coin. Now it's 30, but Dogecoin has been doing decently because of SHIB, I think. And they really needed that because they were just trending down and down. And I'm a holder of both SHIB and Doge, so I'm hopeful that both of them will go up. But I'm going to buy this CYBL. I like this one. Yeah, the really low market cap one. It does look interesting. It looks like that is interesting. That could just be a cool long-term play. $6 million market cap, so low. There's the potential if it went to like 100 million or something, you'd be 15xing your money or something like that, something crazy. So, and $100 million is very attainable. But you always have to worry. I'm not sure where this is listed. If it's listed on stuff like Robinhood and whatnot, which is where I would probably be trying to buy it. If I were to buy it, it may get delisted because it is such a low price. So they might have to either do a reverse split and take your shares and turn them into fewer shares to raise the price. Let's see what they've been doing over the long term. What have they been doing over the past year? They've actually been doing decently. So not bad what they've been doing. They have been growing. It could be good. I might, thank you for pointing this out though. I might be getting into it. Maybe. Very low market cap though. Very low market cap, very risky. It could. It's the kind of thing that could go to zero potentially, if they went bankrupt, or just much lower if they did some kind of offering. So VV Rodick says I bought PROG today. Nice. Hopefully you bought it not too early on in the day. Hopefully you bought it for around 350, which is where we're hoping to hold above. But, pattern was pointed out to us where, it's been noticed that PROG often has a lot of volume near the beginning of the week, and it tends to be shooting up, and then it tends to trend down near the end of the week with lower volume. So potentially we could be looking at a bit of a decline today, maybe on Friday as well. Maybe we'll use 320 as a support, and on Monday we'll have to see if we bump up a lot. Capitalist Kid says, any BBIG updates? So we did talk about BBIG. I will pull it up again. I will talk about it again because I know a lot of people are interested. But we did see a bounce off of 5 today, right? To the downside. We ended up trying to get up above 5 and then bounced off to the downside. Now we're trying to get back up again. And unfortunately, it looks like 5 has started acting as a resistance for us. Now, I'm not too worried about BBIG. I think that BBIG, even if it does falter for the next couple of weeks, I'm not too worried about it once we start getting closer to the tied dividend. I think that's when a lot of interest might be coming out for it again. And I think that's, if we are going to see a BBIG pump, that's when we're going to do it, right before the dividend comes out. So a couple of weeks before the dividend, which is in about 2 months, right? December 27th is the soft date for the dividend. We don't know exactly when, but around then is when the company has said they'll be releasing the tied dividend. So we're waiting until then. And, until that happens, we might see some downwards momentum with it, which we are in a big downtrend. Ever since the dividend was delayed, we've been trending down. So it wouldn't surprise me to see us dip a little bit lower. Ideally, there would still be some holders. Ideally, 5 would be holding us, but it doesn't look like it is, at least at the moment. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens with it. It could move back up above 5, but that's the update on BBIG, Capitalist Kid. That's what we got for BBIG. So, Fifi Redux says 3.48. You talking about, on PROG? Yeah, nice. That's where we're at right now. So, not a bad buy at all, right? Break even right now. So, awesome buy, Vivi. Let's see. So, with BBIG, we'll pull up the market cap real quick. Only at this time a $500 million market cap. So it is somewhat easy to influence the price of BBIG. Institutions in the past have had a decent influence on it, obviously. Otherwise, it would have been much higher if they hadn't been shorting it so heavily. But that means that when this dividend starts to really get hyped up again, it could move up in a big way. So I'm hopeful for BBIG. And what's going on with IRNT today? Just got here, says Chris. All right, let's take a look at IRNT. We have been watching IRNT a bit. But basically, IRNT, I'll pull up the Ortex data as well. IRNT is getting destroyed. It's just been trending down, just getting shot down. And you can see why right here. The short interest change is up 24%. It was up massively yesterday as well. So that brings us to about a 19% short interest as a percentage of the free float, almost maxing out the utilization, right? 99.86% utilized. So IRNT has really gotten wrecked by shorts. That's what's going on today. Shorts doubled down on their positions. They doubled down on their positions yesterday as well, right? It was up about 26% yesterday. It's up about 24% today. So shorts just destroyed us. And that's not to say that we can't rebound, right? We're not as low as we were. Potentially, we could see bounce off of 12 or, if we get as low as 11, then it's looking less likely. But we might see a bounce, right? If some big volume comes in, if some big fundamental buyers come in, because that was good news that we saw with IRNT yesterday. When they partnered with Microsoft. So that is good news for them fundamentally. We'll have to see. Obviously the stock has been much higher in the past. They were up at $47.50. So there's the potential for this stock to rise again. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. Mohammed Sadiq says, hi, good to see what you're doing. What are your thoughts on TMC? And Chris says, thanks, you're welcome, man. TMC, let's pull up TMC. The Metals Co. So this sounds like potentially a mining company, which I am a fan of. I like mining companies. I don't like seeing this massive dip after a ton of volatility. It looks like they were a SPAC. But let's see TMC. Let's see what that's all about. The Metals Company. Let's see if we can't find a description of them, just to confirm that they're in the mining business. Okay, to commence work with the group for refining of battery metals. All right, so maybe they're more so in the refining metals business and smelting. But battery metals, it seems like, is a big deal with them. I keep seeing that. So that's actually a good area to be in, all things considered, over the long term, right? With electric vehicles being such a big deal, it's very possible that this could become a big company in the future. But It's a decent market cap, right? 669 million, 700 million basically, almost $700 million market cap. So not bad for TMC stock, right? The fact that they have dropped a lot is unfortunate. I'm not sure what caused that massive drop. Potentially dilution caused it. I'm not sure. And at that price, they would have been an $1.8 billion market cap. So maybe they just weren't quite there yet. But I think that they could be doing well in the future. I don't know anything about this company specifically, right? But the fact that they're in the batteries metal industry is actually good, considering how many electric vehicles we're getting and the move into solar that we might be seeing, right? We might be moving more away from oil and natural gas looking forward. Those are getting to be very expensive. And if we look more at solar, people are going to need batteries for that too. And Jim Haney says, drop was in part due to an investor backing out. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So that's understandable. Maybe they do have a higher fundamental valuation than where they're currently at, and it's just not being priced accurately for TMC. Yeah, I assumed that. Yep. So they might just not be priced accurately right now. If a big investor did just sell a bunch of shares or back out of a deal, and this could be a good buying opportunity, but I'm not sure. I haven't, this is my first look at it, but it could be good. Love your insight, says Christopher Cormier. What do you think about Ride with all the EV hype? Yeah, let's pull up Ride. Lordstown Motors, we were watching this a while ago. I think with this, we have a lot of promising EV companies, and we're really going to need to see this stock prove something, because I know it was very hyped up at one point. I think at one point its ticker was, when it was a SPAC, was CCIV. But let's look up Ride stock. Okay, so let's see if we can't find them on Yahoo Finance and get their market cap and whatnot. Yeah, so about $1 billion market cap for Lordstown Motors. But they do have a very popular ticker. RIDE, Ride. That is a good ticker to have, because studies have shown that over the long term, companies that have more recognizable ticker names like Ride tend to do better over the long term. And it seems like solely based off of the ticker, right? The fact that Ride is such a recognizable thing, I'm surprised that they were able to get it. So they've been doing, they will likely, benefit from that, but I'm not sure if it will be enough, right? There are a lot of other competitors that they have. They have Lucid, which is popping today. If you look at Lucid stock, doing incredibly well, up 21% on the day, as well as Tesla, which has been doing very well. TSLA right there. Over the past couple of days, it's been soaring to all-time highs. So Ride has been sitting kind of in the back seat, right? They haven't been getting as much attention. You can see, they dumped quite a bit. So it could be a good one, right? It's a very low market cap compared to the others. If you look at Tesla's market cap, that's over $1 trillion. Ride, we looked at, it's only $1 billion. And I think Lucid, now that it's pumped up, it might be like 30 billion, but I think last I checked it was like 28 or something like that, I think. Now it's 53 billion. Okay, so they've gained a lot of market cap, $53 billion market cap, so 53 times larger than Ride. So, potentially Ride could be in for a good time if there's just more EV hype in general, but it seems like a lot of the EV hype is focused more towards Tesla and Lucid, so we'll have to see. Jim Haney says, you had the stock and bailed out. That's too bad. I guess that's not too bad, but yeah, it looks like it has been just dipping, so it's actually probably good that you got out when you did. It has been tanking. So let's see. IRNT will be a nice bounce back tomorrow, says Joseph Agnello. Many insiders have bought in at 444 on TMC. Yeah, it's much lower now, but it might be good to get into at these cheaper prices, maybe, if insiders buying it at 444. And Chris has any thoughts on ATER? We'll look at ATER. We looked at this earlier today, and we did kind of cover it. I think we drew a picture of what happened to it pretty well, but this is a stock that we have been covering for a while on the channel. If you look at the past year, we were talking about this stock before it ended up reaching its heights, and we were saying that $20 would likely act as a fierce resistance for them, which it ended up doing. You can see that it bounced off of $20 twice, very close to it at least. 1993 and 1984 were the highest that it got. And the reason that we thought 20 would act as a significant resistance for them was because in the past, $20 had acted as both a very strong support level and a very strong resistance level. We had two bounces off of $20 to both directions, right? And when we got close to 20 on this big pump up, we were already moving up from $3. So it was already a massive gain on the stock. And it was likely that institutions who were shorting, which is one of the reasons why this was going up, institutions had shorted it quite a bit. We thought that they might try to turn it around to 20 because that was a pre-established level of resistance, also a very strong psychological level. And they ended up doing that in the pre-market, and traders caught on during the trading day, continued pushing this thing down. We tried to rebound up to 20 again, couldn't quite get as high as we did the first time, and have since been on a downwards trend. And if you look at the short interest information that we have on ATR, it looks like we may be near the bottom because shorts are now starting to cover their positions for a massive profit, I will point out, right? It's not a short squeeze that we're experiencing, but shorts may realize that ATR has gotten down as low as it's going to get. Some are starting to cover their positions, and you can see, we still have 34% of the short interest being, 34% of the free float being shorted, but that is decreasing. So we're going to have to see what happens with it. Maybe they'll continue to decrease it. Maybe they'll leave it stagnant. Maybe they think they can pump it down a little bit more. We'll have to see, but it looks like it's starting to get to, if you look at the past year, more of a fair valuation, right? It was at this price around a year ago. It's actually below where it was a year ago, and it might rise, right? It might go up, but not from a short squeeze, at least in the short term. It doesn't look like shorts are in too much danger. They're in a big profit right now. It looks like, unfortunately. So ZOM has been battered. What are your thoughts? Well, let's look at ZOM. We'll take a look at ZOM. Zomedica Corp. It's at 50 cents right now. And it has seen highs. This is a popular one on Robinhood. It has been getting battered, but let's see what they're all about. Let's see if they have any short data out. So it's a decently shorted stock. It's not the highest short interest. Probably doesn't matter that much, but it is worth noting that the days to cover is 5.41. So that means that if shorts wanted to cover all of their short position on Zomedica, it would take 5.41 days worth of volume, the average volume that ZOM typically sees, for them to cover. So it could be rising quite a bit, but shorts are likely in a very profitable position right now because this thing was up at 291 at one point and it's just been downtrending. So pretty much everyone shorting this is probably in the green. It's very close to where the lows of the year, or at least the lows of 2021, that is. So ZOM, I forget exactly what this one's all about. I did see it on Robinhood. I do see it as a very popular one on Robinhood. $500,000 market cap, so not bad in terms of market cap. Always has some pump potential for that, but let's pull these over for a second. Let's see, what is their company all about? Yeah, DWAC, it looks like it has been tanking a little bit. PROG has seen a nice bounce off of 350. That's really good. I'm glad to see the PROG bounce off of 350. But yeah, ZOM, not too sure about it. It's an interesting one. I've considered buying it at one point because I saw it was very popular on Robinhood, but ended up not doing it. And it looks like not a bad choice because it has been tanking a bit, but it is very popular. So if enough retail investors are holding it, that could be good for the float of the stock, right? Decreasing that a little bit, but DWAC is tanking right now, right? We're moving down on DWAC. That's unfortunate. However, 70 may act as a saving grace for us. It might end up saving us from a lower dip. And Jason Cropper says, did someone say PROG? Yeah, PROG is doing very good right now. We can see big volume coming in, somewhat significant volume, not massive, but somewhat decent volume coming in, just pushing this thing up, bouncing off of 350. This is exactly what we were expecting, right? When we saw that we were trading so tightly on 350, we expected to see a big move in one direction or the other, and it looks like it went the right way. We're now in the green on the day, up 2%, 2.93%, almost 3% on the day, hopefully going to break $4 again and get back above 4. That would be a very strong pattern to see, right? The fact that we were shot down off of 4 and then bounced so quickly back up to it, that would show a lot of strength at the $4 level. So, and we're obviously seeing a ton of strength at 350. If we do return to that, it's likely that we'll see another sizable bounce, which, hopefully we won't. Hopefully we'll just keep moving up. And Ambition says, DWAC was great if you got in early. Absolutely it was. Yeah, I'm still up. I mean, for those of you who are new to the stream, I'm up quite a bit on DWAC. got an average price of 24.18. So DWAC was very good, and potentially could still be very good, right? It is up 8% on the day, so that's not bad, for a day's gains for any stock. But it has been sinking a little bit since the highs of 76 of the day. That's to be expected, though. We're getting a little bit later into the day. It's lunch, almost. We're about 30 minutes away from lunch. So it's not out of the question to see, DWAC sinking a little bit. But it's nice to see us gaining some support at $70. The fact that we are bouncing up off of that, we're getting close to 71. Hopefully we can maintain this bounce. Hopefully we don't move below 70. That would be very bearish, actually, if we did lose that support level. And ended up moving down. We want to see this stay above 70, though. Don't buy DWAC. Buy DWAC with warrants. DWACW. Yeah, we'll take a look at the warrants. They are very volatile, so I will point that out. But yeah, they've done decently well, up 16% on the day, and they started trading, it looks like, at 43 cents. So you definitely had the opportunity for some massive gains, which means you also have the opportunity for some massive losses. But the warrants are very interesting. Yeah, I might end up getting in on the warrants. You can see that if you were buying yesterday when this thing was around $20, you've made quite a hefty profit. You've almost doubled your money. The thing was getting very close to 40. So the warrants are interesting. I really should get in on the warrants at some point, because it looks like it's just DWAC with leverage. So maybe the warrants. Thank you for pointing that out, Boogeyman. I might make a video discussing the warrants and the possibilities with those. But, I almost worry that buying the warrants takes pressure away from DWAC, right? If people are just piling into the warrants. I'm not sure if that would have too much of an impact on the price of the underlying. It might not, since they are a... I'm forgetting the exact term, but it's what options are, basically. They're a derivative, I believe. So, yeah, so we'll see. Now, PROG is looking like it's taking a breath to catch itself up, right? It's not just soaring towards $4. It's taking a step back. I'll have to see. I hope it can come back from this. Hopefully it's not too long of a step back, or too far of a step, though it looks like it is dipping a little. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I am confident in PROG, right? PROG has a lot of good stuff going for it. Very bullish on PROG over the long term. And I'm looking over at the stream. We've got 129 likes and 89 viewers. So if we could bump that up to 130, maybe 135, that would be nice. And Joseph Agnello says, Lucid. Wow, did something just happen with Lucid? Yeah, Lucid's been doing incredibly well today. Yeah, we've been looking at this. But Lucid is great. Big fan of Lucid. Up 23% on the day. This is following Tesla breaking into new highs. So maybe it's just a trend with these EVs. Maybe Ride is next. And Matty Vision says, fighting through resistance at 389 PROG. Yeah, and fun stuff, says Joseph Agnelli. Yeah, it is fighting the resistance, but we're going to see. It did get shot down in a fairly significant way on this bar. Big bar from 386 to 375. So big volume too. Big volume. But we are resisting it, right? We bounced it off of 375. So hopefully we can continue on this upwards trend to $4. I think shorts are getting worried, seeing that we're getting close to $4. If we look at PROG stock, let's take a look at that. Let's see, PROG right here. Oh yeah, the shorts are doubling down. They're just increasing the short position, up 10% on the day, bringing us up to a short interest as a percentage of the free float of 52.71. And it looks like the utilization has decreased a little bit even. It looks like they may be finding some more shares to short. That's interesting. So PROG is getting pushed down, or at least they're trying to push it down. Shorts are doing everything they can to stop this thing, to stop it from moving up, right? They really don't want it above $4, and they don't want it above $3.50 either. And you can see that in the options for those of you who are new. You can see that there's about 50,000 open interest call options between the $3.50 and $4, 24,000 each. And that's really bad for people who have been selling these options, because this is a November 19th strike date. And that means that if this thing does get above 4 and stay above 4 for a significant period of time between now and November 19th, then some of the institutions most likely who were selling options, most likely naked, would have to start covering their PROG positions and essentially buying up shares of PROG, raising the price even more, hurting the shorts as well. So that would just be a great series of events to see. Jialin Chen just bought 15 shares of DWAC at 72. Nice. That looks like it was a decent buy, right? We're going to have to see. Obviously it did dip down to 70, but I'm hopeful that it will regain the $72 level. So let's see. What's going on with IRNT? Yeah, PHUN. So you must be new. We have been talking about IRNT quite a bit. Unfortunately, the story for IRNT is not great, but I'll show you what we've got for it. So it's basically just been moving down in a straight line, and here is one. I'm about to pull it up on the screen. If you look at the Ortex data for IRNT, you can see exactly what happened, why IRNT is down so much. The short interest change is up 25.31%. So shorts really just doubled down on their positions, shoved a ton of short orders into the market and pushed this thing down. You can see pretty much the whole pre-market and actual trading day for IRNT has just been straight down in a line, as people are dropping it. Now, the upside is that it is fundamental news that came out for the company, and hopefully it won't be kept down. Hopefully we'll be moving up over the long term, because this is a legitimate company that just partnered with Microsoft, right? They're a big deal. And the shorts can only keep you down for so long, right? It is unfortunate, if this company does need to do some kind of share offering, that their price will be much lower. They won't raise as much capital as they could have, and that so many short shares are being flooded into the market. But in the long term, this could end up being a bigger short squeeze. We'll have to see if we can bounce off of any level, maybe $12, which it looks like we might, but it's not looking promising, right, for IRNT. The fact that we are just getting shoved down and down, that's really unfortunate. So Grim Reaper says, can you look at AGRI? Yep, we will look at AGRI. There we go. AgriForce. So I think we were looking at this yesterday, and it looks like we're seeing a little bit of a pump up today. Even though we are down on the day, down from where we closed, we're up from where we opened. So that's good. Now, I forget exactly what the stock was all about. AgriForce, Growing Systems, Ltd. So let's see. What happened with Agri? Stock is soaring, blah, blah, blah. Announces bidding LOI to acquire leading European agriculture, horticulture, and agtech consulting firm. Okay, so this looks like the news that they began pumping on yesterday. They're announcing a binding something to acquire a leading European agriculture and agtech consultancy firm with global operations in 2020 annual revenues of $26 million. Nice. So let's see what let's see what their market cap is and what that earnings will be in relation to their market cap. Wow. So $26 million worth of revenues, and $45 million market cap on this. So that's an amazing acquisition for Agri stock. I can see why they're up quite a bit. It's always good when you can see massive revenues on a company with a very low market cap like that. So that's very good. It wouldn't surprise me to see them continue moving up a little bit off of that. But obviously, they did have their big spike yesterday, and we likely won't get up to the highs, right? Because when a stock does tank like that, it tends to not get back up to the highs. But I think that this is a good fundamental change for them, so it does justify value over 2, most likely, right? That makes sense to me, at least. Okay, so, let's see. Ambition 2020 says, Thursday folks are tired early lunches. Get out a little early today, maybe like 11:40, 11:45, get out of the day trades. Yeah, I think that might be what's going on a little bit. PROG, though. PROG is continuing to soar. We're going to have to see what happens at 12. Not every stock goes to sleep at lunch. But PROG is looking very promising, right? We just made new highs on the day, getting it up very close to $4, $3.97. Really good stuff with PROG. Happy about that. DWAC is holding nicely at $70. So hopefully that will maintain itself throughout the rest of the day. I was saying earlier that what we want to see with DWAC is an end above 70. So I'm not disappointed with this. We're still up 8% on the day. I'll take that $800 profit, no problem. So we're looking good with DWAC. As long as we stay above 70, that's what we're hoping for. That's what's really going to allow a lot of people to gain some confidence in this stock. The fact that it doesn't just break down every time it hits a potential resistance level. That's very nice. So I think people are going to be potentially getting in on DWAC as they realize that we might not see as big of a dip as some people are expecting. Obviously, we still could. It still could be a good dip opportunity. 50 might end up acting as a support for us if we drop a lot more. But for now, let's see what happens with DWAC. I'm hopeful for it, right? Especially over the long term. We're at 71 right now. It looks like we're bouncing off nicely. And let's see. Fane just joined. So yeah, bought at 1450. So not a bad buy on IRNT. I mean, it's understandable. I ended up not getting in on this because I saw very bearish pressure in the pre-market and opening bell. And since then, we have just been descending and descending. But 1450. Let's see. Must have been close to. Must have been in the pre-market then, or maybe yesterday that you got in. Maybe it was yesterday. Yeah. So you did. There was a little bit of a potential profit point that you could have been taking around when it was 16, above 16, but it was a very small window of time, and it could have done very well today as well if it hadn't been just manipulated down by shorts. So there was real potential with IRNT. Matty Vision says, "Let's go frogs for PROG." Frogs for PROG. So Joseph Agnello, Biden speech on spending. Now let's see what stocks surge. Yeah. Whenever the president talks about spending, that's a good thing for some companies, right? Because the spending is most likely going to be going to some companies, so they should be doing decently well. But the S&P, we can actually pull up right here just to see how that's going to react. It is up 0.87% on the day, and it looks like we're getting very close to all-time highs for the S&P. We don't need to go that much further. Just about less than a dollar increase would get us to all-time highs on the S&P. So $458.49 is the all-time high, and we're at 457.86, so not that far off. And if the Biden speech goes well, right, if it's very, if it seems to be wanting to spend a lot, then that could be good for the S&P. It could be bad for the dollar, but good for the S&P, right? The dollar, you can see DXY, or let's pull that up right here, DXY. The dollar has been falling today, likely on the expectation of this spending speech. You can see it's down pretty big. It was just been tanking. So that's been good for gold and silver, but also the S&P, right? Because the spending that the government's going to do is most likely in American companies. They're not going to be buying gold or silver anytime soon. It doesn't look like, unfortunately. Maybe they should buy some gold and silver, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. So gold and silver are just moving off of the news that the dollar might be falling, that there might be some more spending, some more inflation. But SPY is doing decently. So yeah, if we actually we have this map of the S&P, you can see which companies are doing the best today. Tesla up almost 3%. Apple doing very well, very green there. Facebook was red initially today, has now turned a little green, up 0.92%. Amazon doing well. Google and Microsoft are kind of lagging behind, right? Google's actually down 0.17, Microsoft up 0.15. But overall, very green market today, right? We saw that with the S&P. The S&P is doing good, and you can see the individual companies now that are benefiting it. So pretty much everyone is doing good today. Very few red blocks on that chart right there. So 28% on Lucid. Geez, let's take a look at that again. Yep, it's just going up and up and up. Above 34, very nice. Very nice on Lucid stock. That's great. That's good. That's good for Lucid. Yeah, no, it's just doing incredibly well. Ever since the pipe release of shares, which we can look at about 90 days ago, maybe we can find it on the 90-day chart. I think it was back then. Yeah, when they ended up hitting lows of 1526, Lucid has been doing incredibly well. I'll pull out the 1 year because that's a bit more condensed. But yeah, we started covering this stock around here, and it's just been basically a straight line up since then. But this was on the pipe release when a bunch of private investors in public equity got a release on their shares, and they were able to sell them. And unfortunately, it looks like they sold them for a massive loss. They sold most of their shares on this day when we opened down at $16, and didn't even get above 18 for most of the day. So a lot of investors, in Lucid, unfortunately, who were holding their shares for a very long time, ended up losing some potential profits. They still made money, but we've been doing much better since then, right? Especially on the news that the Lucid Air Dream, I think, is starting production and maybe taking orders even. I think we covered that a little bit ago, so they're doing very good. And the fact that we have been talking about this key resistance level for a long time, $28, has acted many times as a resistance. You can see And that's what we actually just broke out of today, and is why we're soaring up so much. This was expected, right? That once we broke out of 28, that we would be moving up in a big way, because after that, sky's the limit, right? It's up to the highs of 64, potentially, right? As the next main resistance. Obviously, we probably won't just move up in a straight line. We'll find a new range to trade around in. So yeah, we'll see what happens with LCID. We're hopefully going to keep moving up. But it's looking good for a lot of these stocks, right? We're seeing a great day with Lucid. Really good things with PROG now that we have bounced off of 350. That's exactly what we wanted to see, a move up towards $4. Hopefully getting above 4 by the end of the day. That would be ideal. As well as DWAC, even though we have subsided from the highs of day. That is by no means bearish for the stock, right? The fact that we are still up 9% on the day, above $70 is very key for DWAC, at least in the short term, right? Obviously, midterm, I'm still bullish on it, even if it did fall to 50. I would still say that we could bounce off of 50, but for the short term, this is actually good, because it may mean that we don't need to end up bouncing to 50. That this may be the lowest that we ended up going around 52, 55, 53, somewhere around there. That may be the low. So hopefully, Jason Cropper says DWACW warrants looking like they're breaking up. So let's see. Yep, the warrants are looking good. The warrants are looking good. They're up about 20% on the day, even better than DWAC. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of upside in the warrants. If you bought them around the lows, right, when DWAC was trading around 55, you could get those warrants for 20 something bucks, and now they're at 38, so quite a hefty profit to be made. You could make quite a bit with the warrants. I might have to do that. DWACW gaining on LCID, yeah, they're up 20%, so maybe they can beat it out. LCID, yeah, up 28% last we checked, but we'll pull this up. Yeah, up 25% in DWACW, up 20%. So the warrants are a way to go. I would buy some if I didn't already have a decent amount in DWAC, and maybe I'll buy some warrants. I might buy some warrants. We'll see. If there is a big dip, that's when I would like to buy them, because they are a bit more volatile. So I think that they might be better to take as a swing instead of buying into the momentum. I think there's the potential to get hurt doing that. If we do happen to see a dip, I would much rather buy them then. So next dip will be probably getting some DWAC warrants. But for now, we're sticking with the shares. I think this is safer to buy on the way up. Not that I'm even buying more of it. I'm just holding what I've got. 150 shares at 24 bucks per share. So up 1,000 on the day. Above 72, it looks like we're up above $1,000 profit and loss on the day. So let's try to stay above 72. Hopefully it won't act as a resistance, because it has acted as a support a little bit. And it has acted as a resistance the past couple of times that we've tried to break 72. You can see these past 2 times. So hopefully it won't. But it looks like we're at 131 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 135. We just need 4 more people to like this. And I know that we have gotten 4 more people in the stream at least. So 4 new people can certainly like this stream. But Ambition's talking about HCWB. Let's take a look at that. 1.2K profit on that. Nice. Yeah, it did. It broke off really close to 5. Very nice. 509 around there. 510 maybe. It was a great entrance. Back above $6. So a whole point right there. Nice. Awesome buy. Awesome profit. That's great to see. Good to see people in the stream making money. Look at that. We're at 139. We can bump that up one more to 140. Not far off from 140. There we go. So we're very close. Very close to 140. And it looks like DWAC, unfortunately, is dipping a little bit. It looks like 72 is giving us some difficulty. We're going to have to see if that maintains itself, or if we can't just bump and pop up above 72, hopefully, right? This is relatively low volume. Nothing incredible, right? Only 38,000 shares, 39,000 shares being traded. So nothing crazy. Not too fierce of a resistance. We'll have to see. Out at 615, nice. That's awesome. Yep, that was a great sale. It's lower than that now, so awesome sale, Ambition. Bought at 588. Yep, nice. Nice. Yeah, that's great. Oh, that is good. All right, so 139 likes. We're getting very close to 140, guys. Let's see if we can't do it. We're trying to, I try to get to 140 likes every day, because we managed to do it yesterday. How do you trade when you help us all morning? I got to say, this has definitely put a stopper on how many trades I'm taking. You saw yesterday, I did take a little FAMI trade, but that was very small. Then I do end up going to lunch, and oftentimes in the afternoons I'm in class, so sometimes I will actually be trading in class, making a little bit here and there. But it seems like your trading strategy is a bit different from mine. You know, you seem to be taking many more trades than I am. I get overwhelmed if I try to take more than 1 or 2 trades per day, so it tends to just be a couple. And while I'm in a big play like DWAC, I almost trade less, right? Because I am trying to watch it more closely. But you know, I still took that trade with FAMI yesterday, though that was very small. That was almost just for fun. But overall, I'm definitely trading less. I've noticed now that I'm doing the streams. You know, I used to just be me here trading, so I have noticed that. It is interesting. But I'm happy to do this. You know, I think this is important. The trading was getting a little bit lonely, a little bit boring. So I'm happy to do these streams. It's much more entertaining, I think. But yeah, no, it has put a little bit of a damper on the trading. So KTZ says ambition is ambitious. Yeah, I think that's the point of the name. It seems like that's the point of the name. So yeah, nice. We got up to 141 likes, and we've only got a couple minutes left on this stream. So I will read out the poll that we've done. We have 201 votes for which stock people are the most bullish on today. And it seems like the number one stock that people are bullish on is DWAC at 48% of the votes. Second is PROG at 28%. And after that is PHUN. Last is BKKT at 8%. So that's interesting. A lot of people are looking to be bullish on DWAC. That's good, though. So Jim Haney says, I have made 13 trades this morning. One lasted almost 5 minutes. I have no nerve to hold anything long-term. Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, I get very antsy, although a lot of my trades tend to... sometimes I just get in when stocks start to slow down, unfortunately. Get very antsy. I used to lose a lot of money with options when stocks would do that. So now I tend to trade the stocks themselves because the options would just lose so much time value. So now when I'm trading the stocks, oftentimes I will get into a trade, and it might take, 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually reach its price target. But, that's just how it is sometimes. That's how I'm able to identify stuff. This trading platform, TD Ameritrade, while it's decent, isn't my favorite, and I'm not the quickest, I will admit. So I tend to not get in on just little scalpy things. I get in more so on stuff that's going to last a couple of minutes when I see a good support level. Like if I wasn't making this live stream, I may have ended up getting in on a DWAC trade when it was around $70, trying to swing it up to 72, because I realized that was a resistance level for us, 72, and then this is a support. So that might have been a trade that I would have taken. But when it's on stream, I do tend to focus a lot on the trade itself, especially if I'm putting real money into it. And it's something that if it's something that has the potential to lose a lot of money, especially if it's a volatile one. So I would have probably quieted down, and that would be less interesting to watch. So Ambition 2020 says, I focus on one company per day and go hard. My goal is 5K. I made a ton on crypto last night, so that was crazy. Or so I was lazy today. I got you. Yeah. And Mark says, that's because we love Trump. True social for the win on DWAC. I guess that's why DWAC moved up. Yeah. So up 10% on the day. It's looking pretty good. PROG, unfortunately, is taking a bit of a step back down to 375 again, which is where we rebounded from last time, right? The last time we were up around in the 390s. We did step back to 375. Hopefully we can do the same thing except move up to 4. We'll have to watch that. During the next stream, though. Maybe I'll make a video on PROG later on in the day. But it's looking like 11:59. We're getting very close to the end of the stream, and I'm very appreciative of everyone who has joined us. Hopefully you guys will be back tomorrow. But that's what we have for this stream today. So Ari Molly says, good job, Rob. This is about the time I end my trades. Yeah, so this is when I'm ending the stream. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to smash the like button and all that. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. It was super fun hanging out in the stream today, guys. Other than that, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. See you tomorrow, actually. Bye.